This past week was one of Xbox's worst weeks I can remember in its 20-year history. Now, if you were a fan of the brand, you heard things that upset you from Xbox itself, or the complaints from those upset were hard to bear. Regardless, many people are trying to get to the root cause of this issue. But really, an RCA, aka root cause analysis, is not needed here. The problem's exclusives. See, Xbox placing their exclusives on rival consoles day and date, or fairly close to such, devalues the console. This is tried and true knowledge for decades in the world of console gaming, and self-admitted by a console provider just last gen. However, amongst the muck and smoke screens of fanboy battles via social media, this plot has been lost. No fret. We got plenty of receipts and frankly decades of experience here to back this all up. So, to the question if exclusives matter or are they just over-exaggerated, we will tackle all this on the next installment of The Spill, our gaming hot topic video series. Buckle up and get ready for a good one. Let's go. What's up, people? What's up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy, MM2K of Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, MM2K Gaming, which is here, back again with another episode of The Spill. This is our hot topic video game shorter series. It's not a full podcast, but you know, we try to make it shorter. But this is where we talk about the hot topic of the day. Hey man, oh man, we got a great one for you. But before we get into all that, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and definitely rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to address this in two parts, and there's three things to address here. First and foremost, we want to address the misunderstanding around why losing exclusives matter to anybody pretty much that buys a console, why they should matter, unless you just like throwing away your money. And we're going to talk about the fact, we're going to look at the business on why they don't just matter to businesses. And lastly, we're going to talk about this theory that PlayStation is kind of like in a panic right now, because this is the weird thing. In both spaces, exclusives don't matter, but exclusive sales for every single individual exclusive title matter to the company. I don't know. We're going to try to make sense of it, and we're going to try to debunk it all at the same time. I know. Bear with us. But before we get into all that, I want to talk about the claims that came forth that kind of inspired this video, right? Now, I'm not going to pull up the individual tweets or the actual YouTube comments that sparked this video, because the tweet thread is something that just needs to be debunked, but the actual YouTube comment that sparked this as well was actually a good question, and it reflects on something that I failed to elaborate on for our newer listeners in a previous video that we did. All in all, this is tethered to a podcast that, if you're watching that podcast, just stay tuned. After this intro, you'll get to hear all that live, all that discussion live, and you'll get to see the actual conversations. However, for the sake of this video, we're just going to talk about the notions all together and address them. So let's first talk about people being upset for no reason over the loss of exclusivity. All right. And the crux of that opinion is that Xbox gamers are, getting games like Indiana Jones and Avowed or whatever ends up coming to PlayStation. They're getting them first. So what's the big deal? And also what's the big deal is, hey, look, they're coming to Game Pass as well, where the PlayStation people have to put money behind their purchase and not just be able to indulge in a subscription service, right? Okay, so that's the first claim. The second claim is, look, when it comes to exclusive overall, they don't matter. The exclusive marketing behind exclusives and the rhetoric, quote unquote, behind exclusives is just only meant to fool gamers into thinking they matter, but they really don't matter. Okay, that's opinion number 2. And opinion number 3 is exclusives only matter to Sony, who in this point in time is only in a panic. They're in a panic, particularly because their games are not being played as much as other games in their marketplace, and particularly because of Concord. And the thought behind that is, look, Sony exclusives must sell well in order for Sony to survive, in order for them to make money and survive, and for their business strategy to work. All of their exclusives must sell well, right? They need to eat off of them, as I was told. And then also Sony really needs to lean on games as a service or live service for survival. That's their current strategy. And if that strategy falls apart, then Sony is in trouble, and that's why they're in a panic, right? All right, so let's get past all that noise and let's go to the rebuttal of all this stuff. Okay, so first and foremost, to debunk the thought process that people are upset for no reason over the loss of exclusivity, I want to first show you guys this. Okay, you did it right. All right, thank you, board or clipboard. All right, so I want to show you guys something that I responded to from Jeff Grubb, which I thought was spot on. Jeff Grubb said, but console gamers are used to feeling special when he's talking about the whole thing behind Indiana Jones and the fact that it's only a timed exclusive, even though it's a first-party game. It's only a timed exclusive for a few months, and then it's going to a rival console. It's rumored like 3 to 4 months afterwards. So Grubb says, but console gamers are used to feeling special. That's been the deal. We'll spend $500 on this thing, and you have to do the work to make that feel like a good investment. A console platform just cannot square this circle, and I don't think they're trying to. Right, and he's responding to somebody. And I echo that sentiment by saying, for those who don't understand the backlash versus all games being everywhere, like, again, that theory that it doesn't matter, something being exclusive to a console, it just doesn't hold any weight. Look, a lot of money is going into these gaming devices. If the value/support I get for my $500 versus the other $500 box is cut significantly, contrary to what I was promised, of course I will be upset. What am I talking about? Well, this is just the ebb and flow when it comes to how exclusives apply to consoles in particular. I don't think they apply to every type of gaming service or gaming ecosystem type of thing, but when it comes to consoles, absolutely. And when it comes to what Xbox is trying to do, I definitely feel absolutely, even though they're trying to be everywhere, hear me out. You on the other end of this, you're primarily a console gamer. Just pretend, right? You're primarily a console gamer. It's the best way for you to play. Trying to play AAA games, particularly on PC, is too expensive for you. It's just too expensive. I know people say, oh, but you could build a rig at the same price. Look, I'm not that technically inclined, nor do I even want to bother with it. It's too much for me. And then all the constant tweaking of settings, game to game to game, if I were to build a rig like that sits around the price of a console, like, come on. No, it's not for me. All right? Cloud gaming. Okay, look, I may like Xbox games, but I'm not a big fan of xCloud. xCloud does not give me the output and the performance that I'm looking for, even if I'm a Series S owner, right? So I'm primarily a console gamer. So said console that I just bought, they put their exclusives day and date everywhere, right? Or close to release, kind of like Indiana Jones, right? Because they do that, they lose console sales because they no longer stand out. I mean, the fact of the matter is, when you just even look at Xbox's PC day one strategy, a lot of their hardcore from last gen to this gen, and again, if you're just getting into this gen, right, and you're just getting into this whole console war debate this gen, you don't realize what happened last gen. You don't see the faces that you saw that were here this gen, that were here last gen, that converted in between generations. Your hardcore people, which do way more spending per capita than the average gamer, they go over to PC, right? So not only are you losing 30% of your first party sales, but if I'm a PC gamer, I'm not buying my third party games on the Windows Store. I'm buying them from Steam. We're seeing debates out there right now where PC gamers are saying that if the game ain't offered via Steam, it's not a PC game. I mean, it's crazy. It may sound crazy, but that's their approach. That's their perception. PC gamers are a different animal. So because of that, you're going to run into a situation to where your hardcore gamers are going to leave your console, and not only do you lose 30% on first party sales, you're now losing third party sales altogether. That means all the DLC, all the other stuff. And I've seen stats out there by other people out there on social media that showed the decline in growth that Xbox experienced once they started putting their games day and date on PC versus Sony and Nintendo. All right. So it's pretty much etched in stone. And we knew this, those of us that have been in doing this for a while. A lot of you that are new to this may not have, right? So again, they lose those console sales due to not standing out. Third-party developers then look at the console itself and they say, well, if nobody's buying that console, why is it worth my time putting my game on that console? Look, it costs money to port these games. Is it worth the squeeze? Is it even worth the squeeze? And if you have a situation with Xbox gamers now where they're just inclined to wait and see if games hit Game Pass before they buy them, then that answer is by the day becoming no for more and more developers. All right. So again, console owner who buys the console, see the console maker puts the games day and date elsewhere. So they're losing those exclusives. They're losing, then the console starts losing sales because people go elsewhere. That causes third-party developers to look at what's going on and say, you know what, I don't even want to put my third-party games on there. So you start missing third-party games. And you, the sole console owner, you lose out on massive content, which devalues your purchase. So even if you personally don't mind seeing exclusives elsewhere, they do harm you if you are a sole console gamer and you only game on one console, which I think fits into the realm and describes most console gamers. Most console gamers don't have multiple consoles, all right? Under that scenario, exclusives, quote unquote, wouldn't matter. Most console gamers settle down on one console, right? But let's do this. Let's talk about console exclusives and how they benefit gamers due to the risks that are not even taken with multi-plat games. I want to show you guys something else. Again, remember how I said in the intro to all this that a platform holder admitted that this is the business strategy and this is what works in console gaming? Check out this from Shuhei Yoshida. He says only 4 out of 10 PlayStation games make money, but Sony will always support talent. And this came in 2014. He laid this out for those of us that were not in the know, that were ignorant to how all this works in 2014. And this has been the way that it works forever, right? What is that way that works forever? It's a hit-driven business, he says. We look at our financial results of the titles and probably 3 of 4 out of 10 make money, and maybe 1 or 2 make all the money to cover the costs of other titles. So we have to be able to maintain that hit ratio at a certain level to be able to continue the business. So we're able to find out and support and help grow the talent. That's the most important work that I believe myself and my management team at Worldwide Studios are doing. So right there, he's saying, we're willing to take he said only 4 out of 10 are successful, and 2 out of the 10 legitimizing the creation of the other 8. You know what that is mathematically, my friends? They are willing to take a 60% failure rate in order to make exclusive games. Tell me what third-party publisher is willing to take a 60% failure rate? None of them. Okay, there we go. Hey, what's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K. I am here with Cold Blood Sensei, and man, oh man, do we have a show for you today. Breaking news, Star Wars Outlaws. The reviews for that game is out. And of course, with the atypical bicker that you get from Cold Blood and I. Hold on, how come it's not... Cold Blood, how come it's not showing you? Maybe it doesn't want you. Uh-oh, something is wrong here. Even though
it's censorship, bro. It's censorship.
Even though I don't like you, it should be showing your fucking. Okay, what the fuck is going on here? All right, we got to fix that. I don't like that shit. Why does it keep doing that? We got to show the motherfucker.
Spencer got our asses, bro.
Ubisoft paid me to silence him. No, hold on.
Nah, so Spencer did.
Damn, why does it keep doing this shit? All right, got my brother from another mother up here. Okay, here we come on. Stop this dog shit, okay? What's up, everybody? Hopefully, okay. So while I'm trying to fix this dog shit. If you guys saw the beginning video, it's what is going on here? Okay, I can't fix that right now. Let's do it again. My brother from another mother, Cold Blood Sensei, isn't there? It goes. Is in the house. If you guys heard the beginning video, that is a new mini cast, I guess I'll call it, that is going to air later today. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. But I was like sitting there chilling this weekend, Cold Blood. I had a whole bunch of family events that I was going to, and I got bombarded with a couple of things. First and foremost, shout out to the homie John Gray. John Gray is like a new supporter of the platform. Hey, Jenna Hayes, good to see you. He's a supporter of the platform, and he brought up a good question, because with all the yelling and screaming, and we had a lot of people that came through and watched us on Friday. Shout out to like the 50 plus people that came and watched the show. One thing I didn't explain that well during that show is why for some exclusives were an issue. Like John was like, look, man, in my case, I'm going to get the game day and date via Game Pass. I'm going to get it before PlayStation people, and I don't have to pay $70. So what's the issue, right? And so I thought it was important to break down what the actual issue is, because even for people like John Gray, Xbox foregoing its exclusives hurts you. It hurts you. We're going to break that down. So I first saw that, and I was like, damn, I didn't explain it well Friday. But then the homie Doc Dark came up with he put this post out here. And Doc, I love you, brother. I love you like I love you like a child I didn't pay, a kid I didn't pay child support for. I love you. But bro, you jumping out the G-Ride on this one. He talked about how he said something to the effect that Xbox games are taking over and PlayStation is in a panic because of Concord. Look, we are not going to excuse Concord, just like I'm not going to actually sit up here, despite me and Cold Blood's differences. I'm not going to excuse Star Wars Outlaws. I'm not going to excuse it at all. Matter of fact, I think it's got a higher score than it should be, maybe because motherfuckers want to see a Star Wars game do well, right? And y'all know I love Massive. Me, I absolve Massive. Cold Blood doesn't. But what were you about to say, Cold Blood?
Nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think the score is a lot higher than what it should be, based off of what I'm hearing. Repetitive gameplay. Fucking broken. Like people said, I was having fun and then the game just shuts off. Huh? No. Games like that need to be under 70. And that is me wholeheartedly believing in Massive as a developer and wanting them to get their shine. I just think it's fucking ridiculous that this game releases in that state. And even if Ubisoft did put them in a bad spot, that's going to force some things. That's going to force Ubisoft, who threw their best developer under a bus with the different projects they had them working on in the timeline that they gave them, to either say, we can't keep doing this because it's ultimately making us look bad, or at the very least that should make Massive say, this is a dog shit situation that we're in with Ubisoft. Okay, we stumbled into Division 1. We didn't really realize how much we needed to front load that experience. But Division 2, they caught us off at the knees and took our funding and only gave it back when Ghost Recon Breakpoint was doing piss poor. And we did what we were supposed to do, and you reward us with you sitting down with James Cameron and come up with an idea of a Far Cry Avatar game that we got to develop. And you know, you have us co-develop Division Heartlands, then you yank that. And then lastly, you only give us 5 years to make an open world Star Wars game that apparently is releasing fucked up. At some point in time, they gotta say, this is a fucked up situation. They gotta do what developers at 343 did and leave. Start over again somewhere else. That I do agree with Cold Blood and him breaking down his loathing of Massive. I don't believe we're in totally different sections with the, you know, and he'll explain this part. I ain't got to talk for him, but I do agree with that assessment. Like they can't keep getting excuses. If, you know, I can't sit there and say 343 is actually a great developer. They're fantastic. They're great. And they keep making shitty Halos. Now I can blame Microsoft for it, but if Microsoft fucks up the 343 brand so much, then you have no choice but to leave 343. And if Ubisoft gets to a point to where they fuck up, like if the next Division launch is fucked up, then Massive needs to do an exodus. You got to become something else just to save your name. But yeah, why do I have it solo? Hey, there's all we doing all types of hate. Cold Blood. They only had my solo pick up there and everything. Ron Slush says, according to Obsidian, gamers don't care about frame rate either. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But let's start off with Star Wars, man. Let's start off talking about Star Wars. But again, like I said, before I go into the whole thing with Star Wars, again, you heard 15 minutes of the new minicast that's going to air around 5 p.m. today, where I break down, I feel like I break down enough why exclusives are important. I tackle 3 notions that people are upset no reason over exclusives. Exclusives don't matter to consumers. And lastly, they only matter to Sony, who is in a panic when they don't succeed. I attack all 3 of those notions. Shout out to Doc Dark. Doc Dark, I addressed 2 of them through your thread. I like Doc. I just think that Doc, let me say this to Doc. Doc, I feel like you're a great content creator. You know the belief system I have in you, and I'm entertained by your content. And I think when you grasp a concept, you fucking run with it. Sometimes you run with concepts like you're running with a knife, an open knife in your hand. You came into this generation, I feel like not really in tune with the history and the legacy that's happened here. I know things change, but you're not keeping up with the change. Like, I feel like you're laser focused on Sony's focus on games as a service. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps feeds a narrative. But just this past February, Sony pushed away from that games as a service push as much as they did. They canceled half of their games. They talked about their single player narrative experiences being at the forefront again. So we got to keep up with this stuff going on before we double down on these notions that are not tethered to what's really happening out there. And I break that down in that video, and we're going to talk about a little bit of it here. But yeah, I had to address that because there's going to be a lot of people that see things and believe things, and we don't want people being misinformed. So it's my thoughts on that. Shout out to but Doc's always the homie. It's nothing personal, and I don't feel like at this point in time that I gotta spin to the pop filter and fuck you, Doc, and all. Nah, I mean the console war that was all entertainment stuff anyway. Console war's over, bro. It's over. Like what you're seeing right now is you're seeing remnants of people that they went from console warring for Xbox to now just straight grifting and hating on PlayStation. That's it. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like Doc does that. Doc, you know, he talks about his gaming experiences and why he likes them. But I think that the way PlayStation is capsulized does not look at the big picture. If this was like, if Jim Ryan was still there and ABK was still threatening via Phil Spencer to only be around till 2027 in totality, oh, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Concord flopping and fucking up the way that it is would be a problem. It would be a problem for Panic with Sony. It's still a problem, don't get me wrong. It's a problem, and it's a problem financially, and it's causing heartburn at Sony. You know what I'm saying? Because for other reasons, the video gets into the reasons, we'll get into the reasons here, but it's not creating panic. It's creating embarrassment. And we're going to talk about that embarrassment. And some of that embarrassment, not some of it, a lot of that embarrassment is being induced by a lot of you PlayStation fanboys. Y'all just can't fucking let it go, bro. Like, you don't have to defend everything. Like, you won the console war. Like, don't defend everything. You're actually making this worse than what it is. Like, imagine you're walking down the street with a friend, and the friend had a whole bunch of Navy beans or something, so they shit on themselves. They're like, oh shit on myself, man. Like, you know, we got to go to somewhere discreet so I can change my trousers, man. Sneak me over to your house so I can change my pants or something like that. And you're like, no. If you shit on yourself, in no way, shape, form, or fashion should you have to walk like that. Hold on. Hey, everybody, my friend just shit on himself. Does anybody have a towel, a napkin, a do-rag, something so I can wipe this shit off? Like, you guys are making this worse. Let the fucking game do what it's gonna do. Stop, you know, stop making it worse than what it is. All right? Can we get 10 likes? Let's get to 10 likes. Anyway, Cold Blood, Star Wars. Let's get to Star Wars. Star Wars Outlaws. We had a very spirited and fun debate, as we always did, for the members. If you're not a member, shame on you. Hit that join button because you're missing out on so much fucking content. You miss out on 2 videos. You missed out on a video this weekend and another mini cast. So you miss out on content all over the place. Cold Blood, Star Wars Outlaws. Unchallenged from me, brother. It's a 77 right now. But what are your thoughts on this game and how it's faring overall so far?
I told you so. I don't know what to say, bro. Like, but my initial thoughts, almost everything I thought about the game came true. Like, okay, I might be wrong with the visuals. Maybe they are not as bad as they looked on the IGN shit. I will refrain from saying anything until I see more of it. But most of the other shit, bro, like, I literally predicted this shit. It's an Ubisoft slop. Once again. And you might laugh, Massive, but bro, for me, Massive did not do anything for any of the games Ubisoft made. Really, like Division was shit at launch. Avatar, absolute fucking disaster in my opinion, because you just literally fucked the whole IP with that shit. Now they do the same with Star Wars. I don't know who has to tell them, but Ubisoft needs to do something. This is embarrassing.
You guys are seeing the score. I'm just scrolling through the scores. I'm looking to see what GameSpot puts out here. That's going to. Go ahead.
Just the Star Wars name should have never made you go below 80. Just the Star Wars name alone shouldn't do that. And with the best developer Ubisoft has, what the fuck are we doing here? This is I mean, critically, it's a flop in my opinion, because most people predicted it to be anywhere between 85 and 90, and this game doesn't even come close to that score.
Well, actually, the Metacritic.
And let's be real. No, let's be real. The score doesn't matter in the end. It's the reviews themselves that tell you exactly what the fuck this game is. That makes it a problem. A buggy mess. Performance is not there where it should be. Visually, at least I read a review where he said visually it doesn't look that good in performance mode, because the resolution goes down way too much. And the shadows and stuff are way downgraded from the quality mode. So the score itself, the 77, is not the biggest issue I have with it. I have an issue with everything the reviewers are saying, and it's pretty much unanimously repetitive, buggy, performance not there. The only thing this game has going for it is the story, which, in my opinion, sure, I love stories in games, but if the gameplay is not up to par with the story, then I'm sorry, but then you fucked up. In my opinion, it has to be both. It has to be gameplay and story. Very quality. Everything else isn't that important at that point. But if you fuck up the gameplay and make it a fucking stealth game in the Star Wars universe, a stealth game, what are we doing here? I mean, bro, you say it doesn't deserve this score. Well, I say it doesn't deserve anything higher than 80. That's all I can say. And it sure didn't get to the 80. I'm done.
So I was just looking at. So I'll say this here just so we know how everybody was landing on this game. I'll address where we differ first, but then talk about where we definitely agree. So when you look at the Metacritic predictions before the actual scores came out, people were landing around 75, and that's why I think this game was good. I think this game was going to be around the 75. My original predictions were based off of the previews. I was like low 80s, maybe mid 80s, but it looks like that we're going to be like I'll be like 5 points below. I expect by the end of the day this will land at a 75. And here's what I will say when it comes to. See, I play all the massive games. I've been part of their testing, so I know a little bit more hands-on when it comes to Massive. And I've tested a lot of games. So there's games that I've tested for Ubisoft, that I've tested for other developers, a wide variety of developers that I can see when they're going through their different phases, and I can sit there and say, okay, I understand that, I understand this, and so forth. When it comes to Avatar and then this game, here's why I put the impetus, why those games came out on Ubisoft. They had 4 projects: Division 2, Division Heartlands, Avatar, Star Wars. Now, and they had 4 projects that they were working on in 5 years. Avatar, mid. I mean, it's an okay game, but it's mid. It's nothing special. It's, if you want to play Far Cry with an Avatar skin, go have at it, right? This Star Wars game, it's mid. Like, I saw something from Mighty Keith and others saying, you know what? There's nothing special going on here. It's a mid game. Like that. I'm actually with the scores. It's mid, but it is like I'm having fun with it, but it's mid, right? I look at it, and people, and I can understand where Cold Blood, who generally doesn't play Massive games or not into their games, can look at that and say, you know what, they're not doing anything impressive to me. My impression of Massive, I don't base it off of Avatar and Star Wars alone. I look at the total picture, and the fact that they had them working on 4 projects in 5 years, and the last 2 games under the Ubisoft slot formula even landed in the 70s, I think is a miracle. I don't know anybody else, any other singular developer that would have had those many projects to work on in that short of amount of time and still would have been able to drop 2 half-ass games in the 70s. Because when you look at Division 2, when Massive was allowed to do what they are good at, what they're supposed to do, and given time to do it, the fucking game is phenomenal, right? Like, I don't even know, is there a Metacritic for War of Warlords? Let me see. But yeah, what they are able to do is fucking incredible. The first game, they were inexperienced. All right, they learned from that. Second game, they got cut off at the knees. Warlords of New York. And then when, again, Ubisoft said, we fucked up. We kind of fucked up, and we fucked up with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We need you. Okay, Warlords of New York came in at 79. Which, that's okay. And it's only got 19 reviews. I mean, at launch, maybe it wasn't that well, no, I think it was good at launch, but it's even fucking better now. Like, this is a totally different game as far as the enemies, the engagement, the things that you can do, the just dynamic nature of this game. Like, literally, as soon as you walk out of your outpost and go to play, you don't know what you're running into. And that's the way an open world should feel. It shouldn't just be empty and, it's just a big empty space that you're doing shit that you can do in a single player game. So knowing Massive's pedigree, looking at the fact that they were thrown under the bus and given these big projects, 4 big projects in a 5-year span, and they were still able to do what they were able to do with those 4 projects, to me says there's definitely talent there, but it's only as good as the talent they were given. Like, for instance, if Naughty Dog, I feel like if Naughty Dog was put under the same circumstances, like they were like, fuck it, we don't even want to be a games as a service developer, and they are arguably the best studio in the world. They're like, we don't want that strain. So you got a developer that is making single player narratives and open world games. They're doing it in a short amount of time, and they're coming out with mid releases. And I think Ubisoft really doesn't care as long as there's a whole bunch of sales behind it. Now, Avatar flopped. It definitely flopped. But I think with this Star Wars game, they didn't give a fuck. They were like, okay, 5 years is amongst us. What can you put out there? So that's where I disagree with. I don't think that this is indicative of Massive, because if you follow Massive, you play their games and you know the history, you know that they were put in a shit situation, and they took shit and they made some halfway tart lemonade out of it. So the history speaks for itself to me. That being said, this is where we do agree. I'll start with the thing. I'll start from the lowest point to the most serious point where we agree. I do agree with Cold Blood, something that he brought up in our discussion during the thing. Like, there's only, even if you like Massive, there's only so much room you can keep giving them. Meaning, okay, say, look, I know the developers at 343. I have experience with them, and they're great developers. They know their shit. Okay, well, when are they going to drop a Halo that's, you know, good? Well, or fantastic, or brings at least the brand back to its glory days? Well, I mean, it's not their fault. Microsoft has these 48-month contracts or 18-month contracts. They do this and do that. Okay. You can imagine that the first go around, the second go around, but the third go around, at some point in time, you got to say, okay, well, if Microsoft keeps sabotaging you, you're going to keep getting a check from them and keep getting your name tarnished. Like, at some point in time, as a developer, if you decide to, if you want to move on and people look at the resume of games that you work on, like, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he's the smartest fucking dude in the world. He was asking me if I can hook him up with a job. I'm like, bro, what we do here is like well below your pay grade. Like, if anything, you know, you could become a partner, but we're not splitting this up 3 ways. But, you know, I was like, bro, you know, you're well above this. And he's like, man, I'm having a hard time finding a job. I was like, why? He was like, I've been unemployed for several years because I had to take care of family and shit like that. Now I'm willing to get back in the workforce and people won't employ me. And so that resume is important. So if I'm a developer, and let's just say Ubisoft goes to shit, or they do so fucking bad, they let go of their developers, and it's including Massive. And now you got to find a new job. People are going to look at that resume and they're going to go, all right, Division 1, okay, was groundbreaking. Division 2, okay, yeah, we know you turned that around. But Avatar and Star Wars? Like, we really here at Naughty Dog, we're really here to, you know, develop the biggest and best game. And you know in your heart of hearts, like, you can work at Naughty Dog and be innovative. But your resume doesn't say so. Your resume doesn't speak to that. So Naughty Dog doesn't pick you up. Or you gotta work somewhere else. You gotta work somewhere where it's shitty because your resume doesn't speak outstanding work. That shit matters. It matters everywhere. It matters. As an employee, trust me, or as an employer, for my own business, for a Fortune 500 company, that shit matters. So my message to Massive is, even though people like Cold Blood don't believe in you, I believe in you, but we can't keep admonishing you if Division 3 comes up fucked up. Yeah, we can point back and draw red lines to shit Ubisoft has done, but we know Ubisoft is a shit company. You guys gotta leave. Like, 343 was so fucking bad. The people at 343 left, and they're now developing, like, a lot of the leadership left, and they're now developing some type of service game or whatever. The service game is shit. I've tested it. It's dog shit. But it was so bad at 343 they had to leave. I'm Massive, I'm telling you. It is getting so bad at Ubisoft. You guys have to fucking go. You guys are top-notch caliber, and you're being reduced to bargain bin food stamp cheese and butter output games. And really, okay, me and Cold Blood for entertainment's sake, can debate this out and talk shit, right? But can I really? What do I have to say in the arsenal besides saying, well, I have experience with it? And can I play your experience? No, you can't. So what can I really argue and say to Cold Blood or anybody, not just Cold Blood, anybody who's like, I don't trust them. I don't give a fuck what you've experienced. I don't trust them. Their games have to speak to me. I don't need to go and play their shit. It's not my job to go and find out why they're good. They have to show me why they're good. And arguably they haven't done that. And I get it. So like I said, outside of entertainment purposes, it's really, I really, if we're getting all serious and we're stopping all the shit talking, which I love to do, if we're just being serious about it, there's no argument to be had. Massive, you got to control your own destiny. So here's my thought process. And I know some major developers have already left Massive, maybe because of this. If you get any inkling that Ubisoft is trying to cut you off at the fucking knees, like they did with Division 2, like how they threw you under the bus with these past 2 games, you better fucking leave. You better leave, because it's kind of bad now, but there's something you can salvage of that resume. But I'm telling you, man, one more bad experience and your resume is gonna look shitty. What is that? You want to work on the stock market? What were your last 3 jobs? Walmart, McDonald's, and Burger King? You know what? We're going elsewhere. Sorry. I mean, what else can you say? Nobody needs this platform. Says Avatar should have been a PSVR when you play on regular screen when you're the human and you go on the VR. I mean, there's so many other things that could have been done, but that was Ubisoft just saying, look, and James Cameron agreed to it apparently and said, oh, Ubisoft, Far Cry, Avatar, I think that's great. And he was co-signing the shit and it fell apart. But just so you guys are aware, okay, that's the lowest point in which I agree with Cold Blood. Here's where I wholeheartedly agree, and this is where we don't agree, but I'm being even harsher. I don't think the game deserves a 70 from what I'm hearing. Why? A lot because of what I just talked about. I know this developer is more talented than what they've been than this shit that they put out there. A fucking buggy mess at launch. A stealth game with repetitive gameplay, broken AI. And even though, the visuals may not be horrible, right? We just saw what they did with Avatar, right? We saw what they did with Avatar and Snowdrop. That's open world. There's all types of trees and vegetation and shit like that could bottleneck your performance. What's going on to where there's degradation in Star Wars? That speaks to rushed. That speaks so much to rushed. There's no excuse for it. Ubisoft, and I think they deserve a 70, not just 99.9% because the game deserves it itself, but part of me wants them to get under a 70 for the simple fact that something has to wake Ubisoft up. I get that there's consequences to these lower Metacritic scores, but Ubisoft doesn't get it. They don't get it. Oh, Moss, the 77 isn't bad. Oh, look at Jedi Fallen Survivor. Do we need to do, let's fucking do that. Because people think this is all cap. And then I'm just trying to be mean. Jedi Fallen Survivor. Jedi Fallen Survivor with 121 reviews is an 85. That's with all the bugs and shit that the game launched with. What are we doing here?
Well, Moss, that's what I said. Have a good gameplay and good story. You're getting rewarded. That's all it is. Even if the game is buggy, so what?
What are we doing here? This game was savagely attacked. It was so badly attacked that the fucking director just rolled and shit. You're like, okay, I'm sick of this shit. Remember that dude, Cold Blood he was on Twitter, I forgot his name, sick of this shit gaming. He had the Xbox avatar, it was an angry Xbox avatar. He was sick of this shit. And he just left.
Who?
This dude, his name is Sick of This Shit Gaming. I always just his name always tickled me, and he had this like angry avatar, but he was a PlayStation troll, like he fucking hated Xbox, but he just used the 360 avatar to make this character, and the character was growling and shit. His tweets were just hilarious. His tweets were hilarious, but
sounds great guy.
What did you say? Sound like a great guy? Yeah, no, he was. I guess he really got sick of this shit and he rolled. But that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, and again, I was an Ubisoft stan. I still feel like that Ubisoft, they're making games for me. So even though a lot of you guys hate on their games, like I'm more willing to give them a try. And I love Massive. I think Massive is a fantastic developer. Like a lot of times when I'm playing Division 2 and you guys are jumping to Division 2, y'all watch a Division 2 stream and y'all like, holy shit, that looks like that's the shit. What game is this? And I'm like, Division 2. What? Really? I'm telling you, you got to give it a try. But I can advocate for that all I want. It's up to Ubisoft and Massive to want to do that. And if you're under Ubisoft and Ubisoft is putting you in these bad situations, then you gotta leave. But look at Jedi Survivor, it's an 85. And look how it got decimated. This is an open world Star Wars where there's combat. Massive could have, bro, I don't even have to do a mission in Division 2. I can just go walk to get resources and get more dynamic gameplay than I'm getting, you know what I'm saying, from apparently what I've seen in Star Wars. It doesn't make any sense. But something's got to give. I can't keep making excuses for them. Like if Division 3 launches this way, then oh well. Then you don't care about mediocrity. If I am Massive, if I am Massive and I think I'm the shit, because I was just patting myself on the back, look how we turned around Division 2. We're the fucking shit. And we must be the shit because we're the only studio that Ubisoft is giving all this shit to. We're the shit. And Ubisoft then hits you with, oh yeah, you're gonna do Far Cry meets Avatar. Huh? Okay. All right, whatever, man. Don't worry about it. It'll do great, right? Yeah. You're gonna code. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do. What's that game? I forgot the name of that game. But we're gonna Battle of Tarkov meets Division 2 in Heartlands. Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool. You're gonna co-develop that with Red Storm. All right, that's fine. Never mind. We're not doing it no more. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna do Star Wars. Oh, we're doing a Star Wars game. Oh shit. Yeah, and then you need to start production on Division 3. Oh, okay, cool. You only got 5 years on Star Wars. What? And here's what we wanted. It's supposed to be open world, space fights. It's like the beginnings of something were created that could have been badass, and they weren't given time to flesh it out. So after all this, you done did all this fucking work, bro. You done all this work. and your acclaim is mid, and you're like, hold on, I know I'm better than mid. I know I am. And your acclaim is mid, and you're like, hold on, I know I'm better than mid. You got me echoing in the background. And your acclaim is mid, and you're like, hold on, I know.
Oh, do I have wait, do I have something fucked up in the voice meter settings again?
You might have, if you got B1 checked off somewhere. You have, I don't know if you have B1 in the
wait, where do I have to put it off?
I would take B1 off of, hold on one second. Hold on. Whoa. Everybody's having voice meter issues. That's Porter Rocket was having it this weekend. Your voice meter.
I don't know. It restarted everything. I put the settings back on. I have no idea.
You see in that column where it says virtual inputs and it has like the three little equalizer spots. Check there.
Yeah.
Make sure B1 isn't checked there.
Okay.
All right. Was it checked there?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Yep. Uncheck it there. You should be okay.
But I only have 2 columns. I don't have 3.
Oh, you only have 2? Oh, okay. That could be because I got my audio split up a little bit more. Like Discord for me has its own audio channel.
Yeah. No, sorry, that was my mistake.
Oh no, that's all right. No, it wasn't you. It was fucking voice meter. It fucked up on Porter Rock. That's why I couldn't play my music earlier. And the reason why I was like wanting to play my music is because it's fucking 90 something degrees here. And I got my fan blowing right in my fucking teeth, and I don't want you guys to hear it. So I got that audio. What up, Twisted Barber? He says Ubisoft still ate up the arses of its shareholders. I really hope Division 3 is even happening. Laugh out loud. At this point, who knows? No, it's happening. It's happening. But one of the things that we got to ask is it going to fucking, is it going to suck? You know, is it going to be like Division 2 where, you know, that first week or so, you're like, oh, this is the shit. And then after you go through all the content, you're like, what the fuck is this? And for those that don't know the history, what happened with Division 2 is, Ubisoft saw the scores and was like, okay, we're good. And a lot of the funding that they had put to the side to deal with a lot of people like running through content, they went and put it elsewhere. They put it into other projects and just took it from them and was like, and so then Master was like, what the fuck? What's going on here? And so that's why, remember when they were doing state of plays like every week and shit like that, they just abruptly ended. And this is why people were still engaged with the game. That was because they was like, look, we know what's coming down the pike, and they just ended. They just ended it. They didn't want to have to answer to what was coming, which was inevitably coming. So then all of a sudden, people started shitting on it again. And it got to the point to where Ubisoft was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. This game could die. And they were about to let it die. And what happens? Ghost Recon Breakpoint releases. What happened with Ghost Recon Breakpoint? It is a total failure. So then they go back to Massive, and they're like, we need you again. Please help. And then they gave them the money that they needed. And after they gave them the funding that they needed, you know, they kept working on stuff. Then eventually Warlords of New York came out in 2020. And the rest is history as far as the quality of the game. You got the game that you were supposed to get. Unfortunately, there was like a 7 to 8 month gap because Ubisoft was trying to fuck Massive. and they saw what they did with Division 2 and how they brought it back from the brink. That's why all this, the Division 2 resurgence and all in the mobile game, because the game has gotten significantly better and it is doing, well for Ubisoft. It's become a reliable income source for Ubisoft. So that's what they tried to milk the shit out of it. And so then they said, okay, well, damn, Massive, they're pretty fucking good. Okay. We got these new deals coming. And we're gonna put them in your hands. And when I first heard about this, I was like, oh, this is gonna be the shit. Because Massive, now when fully funded and given the opportunity to develop the way that they should have been allowed to do, they fucking they killed it. And I was like, oh, these games are gonna be the shit. Little did I know that Ubisoft wasn't like, here's what I want you to do and stepping away with, reasonable minimum oversight. No, Ubisoft was like, you need to crank out an Avatar game. That's just Avatar Far Cry. So you ain't gotta worry about it. You ain't gotta spend too much time on that. Just make it look pretty. Make it work like Avatar. Cool. And they did that. And they showed off the snowdrop technology. That's another reason why I'm really big on Massive, because the way that Division 2 still holds up. Like I said, when I play it today, people are like, oh, what the fuck is that? And as you can see, little by little, they'll go over certain assets and they'll clean them up. Like I remember playing when I first played the New York, the Warlords of New York, there were certain assets and there that, at the time when ray tracing was just first coming out, I was like, are these ray traced assets? Like what the hell is going on here? And then over time they started going through the normal game and they started polishing it up. And I was like, that Snowdrop engine is a shit. It made the game and how efficient the Snowdrop engine was, and I knew how efficient it was, is when it looked as awesome as it did on Stadia. I see, because let's be frank. Most of the games on Stadia looked okay. What'd you say?
Stop, we're losing people. Don't mention Stadia.
Most of the games on Stadia were okay, but there were only 2 games that looked phenomenal. One was Division 2, the other one was one of the Maddens. So once we saw that, I was like, yeah, this Snowdrop engine is the shit. But little did we know that Ubisoft will put them in such a peculiar situation that the game would be, they would have to release 2 mid games. But at some point in time, you got to ask them, when are you going to control your own destiny? Are you going to continue to sit under these motherfuckers and let them chop you off at the knees? Or are you going to just leave? Sometimes you just got to leave for the sake of your resume. Division isn't the game that it was supposed to be. It's a grind fest rather than being an open world of urban warfare using massive disappointment. Ubisoft to buy our products. Tristan Barber, I don't grind for anything in the game. Like there's times that I'll go and I'll play for a couple hours and I'm just the thing that you said that it's not, that's exactly what it is. It's an open world of urban warfare. Like I'll go start a game with the purpose of grinding and saying, you know what, I'm gonna grind the manhunt. I'm gonna go grind manhunt, and you know what I'm saying, so I can try to get this, or I'm gonna grind for this gear set. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grind to try to access this gear set or whatever, right? I'll go to grind, bro, and then just on my way to the places where I go to grind, I'll run into open warfare, and it totally fucks up what I want to do. So I don't know, Twisted Barber. I know you normally you've played, like we used to play together, right? We used to play together. I don't know how recently you've played, but right now it's Jesus fucking Christ. I'm going to say this though, the reason why I've fallen back from Division 2 recently, number one, Helldivers 2 did that. But I fell back from it because I didn't mind the grind in Division 2. But the problem with Division 2 now is there's nothing else for me to grind for. Like, I basically have everything that I want. So it's basically, I would only be playing for what you're saying, for the urban warfare, which can be fun. Don't get me wrong, it can be fun, but without a purpose, like I think they need like, that's where Division 2.0 was going to change all that. Because with the seasonal characters and then like the story objectives and all the other shit, it was going to change that and make it to where, okay, maybe I don't specifically grind Manhunt, or maybe I don't specifically do these raids or whatever, but if I just go into this open urban warfare and I gather up a whole bunch of this and materials and I break them down and I do this and I do that, maybe it's because I'm trying to build my character up to go to this new mode, to go to this and to go to that. Like there needs to be another thing to do. As much as they have, I've played that game so fucking much over what Warlords of New York came out 4 years ago, and they've been adding stuff, don't get me wrong. Well, here's the thing of it too. If you're new to Division 2, you're going to be overwhelmed with content and you'll have so much to do. Your problem is not my problem. But 4 years after the same game, I'm just done with it. That's all. I'm not one of those people that I can play the same thing for decades and I can't do it. I lose my interest, and it's just that after 4 years, I need something else to grind for. That's all. Like now that I think about it, I'm talking about, yeah, Division 2 could do this and do that. There's nothing else they can do. It's just time for Division 2 to end and Division 3 to come here. He says it was meant to be against other gamers, not programmable enemies. That was the original big whoop to do with Division 1. But it was clear after Division 1, Twisted Barber, that wasn't their aim anymore. That wasn't going to be seamless. Don't get me wrong, that would have made it dope, but PV all, would have been a dope aspect, but I don't really care for it. I don't, I'd rather deal with the enemy AI. The AI is so fucking intelligent and so smart that I'm happy with the PvE elements. I mean, the concept would have been cool, but at the same time, getting griefed by motherfucker, like, And I like to play by myself, so that's where the dark zone really doesn't do anything for me, because I go in the dark zone to try to extract certain things, and it like fucking, it's a grief fest. While I'm doing is running away from motherfuckers, I can hear them in a proximity chat. Where's punk ass go? Get that punk ass motherfucker. Yeah, he's under the truck. And I'm dead and shit, and they take all my gear. It's just me running and shit. It's them motherfuckers just sitting there watching me collect gear. And then as soon as I go to extract it, they're all following me. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought, Twisted Barber. Yeah, we were, oh yeah. That's right. You were part of Old Dirty Blasters. Absolutely. That's what I thought. It's been so long, bro. But no, recently it's turned into that urban warfare, but I'm just done with it. After 4 years, I'm done. But that's Massive's talents. Okay, all right. Okay, now I'm done. Now we're done with that. I don't know. Did you have any final thoughts, Cold Blood? Like I said, I don't think it deserves a 70. If you're buggy You don't have dynamic gameplay. You know what I'm saying? And all the things that you're known for people that have experienced you, and your performance mode isn't that great. Like every single game that they've made, they've had good performance modes when they were available. Avatar is a marvel. You've heard Digital Foundry. So what the fuck happened to Star Wars? Those are my thoughts. I don't know. I'll let you have the final word, Cold Blood. Any final thoughts?
Yes. Helldivers 2 killed Division 2 for you. I'm so fucking proud of Arrowhead. It only took a real PlayStation exclusive, what do you call it? Multiplayer game for you to finally stop playing this fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Nah, well, about Star Wars, as expected, really. Like, after I saw this IGN fucking gameplay, I was like, okay, that is not gonna be a very good game. That's all I'm saying. That IGN, I wasn't so concerned with the visuals, but when I saw the gameplay, I said, nah. I'm like, nah. That was the thing that really made me go, holy fuck, we got a problem. I mean, the visuals were bad, but I thought maybe that was how it was captured, or maybe that was an old bill. But yeah, I said, holy fuck. All right, let's talk Concord, y'all. Yeah, y'all usually come here for the shit fest, the Xbox shit fest, and I'm gonna tell you that I think that that is the bigger story for gamers, but you guys want to focus on Concord so fucking bad. So like, let's have a coming to Jesus speech, for crying out fucking loud. Let's look at Concord. Right now it has 168 people playing on Steam. It is 43rd on the PlayStation Marketplace. Like, I think Grounded is fucking higher and shit. Like, what do we do? Okay. Cold Blood, I'm gonna let you talk now. We got PlayStation people. People already know where we come at about this game, but if you want to reiterate it, that's fine. But look at them drop out now. They're like, oh no, I got enough for the show. But PlayStation people, and not all of them are doing it, but the PlayStation people that are trying to go out of their way and defend this game at the behoost of people that are like, you know what? This game is flop. Flippity flop, then fuck it. You got people literally out here writing manifestos on why people should like something that they're not interested in. And it ties back to what I was saying about Massive in Division 2, or just Massive, period. You have to show me why I should like you. People played the free beta, Cold Blood. You did too. I played it a lot extensively too, even well before y'all even knew what Concord really was. I'll keep my mouth shut beyond that. So you got people telling you what you should like and what you shouldn't like. And then now, reasonably, us who think, you know what? This game is salvageable because it's not the worst game ever, but the way it's being rolled out and the current model isn't going to work. And you still got people say, oh, no, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to, if you're going to pay this for this game, you should pay for that game. No, the model that Helldivers 2 released in worked for Helldivers 2. It's not going to work for Concord, apparently. So I don't know, with all that out there, Cold Blood, what do you think about the state of the game? Does it have a future? What do you think about these cappers out here on they're in overtime, bro, capping for this shit? What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I wanna play something for you.
Oh shit!
Exclusive footage from the Sony HQ. What is happening right now over there? I hope you can hear it.
I can't. I don't hear. I don't hear nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, heard that?
No, I didn't hear anything. Oh shit.
No.
No.
Oh shit. what do I have to do on voice meter so you can hear?
The part where it says input, that those inputs I was talking about, where you said you have two of them, play it and see wherever that the volume meter rises at, and that's where you're going to want to tap B1. Is wherever.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but it doesn't play.
Try it again.
You can hear it?
Mm-mm.
Shit.
That's weird.
Well, wait. I just sent you the link and you play it.
Okay. All right. Hold on, let me do that. Did you put it in? Did you just send it to me in Discord?
No, on Twitter. There you go. Just play it on YouTube.
Hold on.
That shit is happening right now over there.
Hold on. Oh shit! Hold on. You make sure you uncheck B1 too.
Oh yeah, wait.
All right, let's play this right now.
Tactical nuke incoming!
It's fucking Defcon 5 over there.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with fucking Concord.
Yeah. Concord. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening. Oh God. Uh-oh, did we lose Cold Blood?
No.
Oh no, I was saying go if you had more to say.
Well, y'all wanted to bring out a hero shooter for fucking $40.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got your wish.
Mm-hmm.
You got the not even 700 people on Steam, and who knows how many PlayStation people? Not many if you're only 43rd in the best selling. You needed something to make people go, oh, it might be actually a good game. Only an open beta was not enough.
Mm-hmm.
That shit should have been in testing a year ago.
Yeah.
When people could have told you this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that? 2 months before launch, then you show us the game, and everyone is like immediately, what the fuck? We don't want that.
Yep.
What the fuck did you expect is gonna happen?
Yeah.
Everyone gonna be jumping out of the chair saying, oh yeah, cutscenes, baby, let's go. No, I'm serious right now. Like, what did people expect over there at PlayStation? That we're gonna just eat it up? No. You needed something, and my only suggestion, if you really need this game to be a premium game, at least have a trial version where you only get a few heroes to test out the game with without no progression or anything. Something. so people can at least try the game and see for themselves, because not many people even knew probably that the open beta was going on. It's mostly only Twitter dudes that knew about it. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
And people in the know, well, I don't know, on YouTube or something, when they watch someone else play it. But the mass majority of people didn't even know that this game existed until it launched. I would assume. Because there was no marketing for this game.
Yeah.
Like, I did not see a billboard outside telling me Concord is coming.
Yep.
Did you?
Nope.
Yeah, so what the fuck did you expect? The only way you can market this game now is make a trial version.
Yeah.
You don't have to immediately put it in PlayStation Plus. I get it. You have a lot of investment into this dog shit. So at least let people into the game somehow. Let them test it out, and see if people gonna buy your game then.
Yeah.
But at that point, to me, it would just be like, yeah, okay, why don't we go free to play anyway?
Yeah, but no, I think that's a fucking excellent idea, bro. Like, I really do. I think that's a great idea, because people are like, they don't want it to go free to play because they don't want it to, per se, start taking up the free to play model with a nickel and dime.
Wait a second, Moss. Okay. I am not blaming Firewalk alone here. I am also blaming the marketing machine that is called PlayStation.
Yeah, I totally
they absolutely
agree.
Fucked up the marketing of this game.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep. I totally agree. And that's what we've been saying here. It's like, it's not that the game is horrible. It's just not. Like there's four things going against the game. Number one, the biggest thing fucking hurting Concord is it was released at a time. It's a AAA game that was released at a time that AAA games would be released that have more broad appeal. A AAA 5v5 hero shooter is not a game that you release at this time when you have no other AAA games coming first party, right? Like, no, absolutely not. Secondly, it has to deal with, I don't want to say the stigma, but the pressures of being a PlayStation first party AAA game. It's got to live up to those standards. Third is, let's be frank, it can't live up to those standards because the game's not the worst game ever. It's cool, but it's mid. It's mid.
Jenna. Yes, I saw how one former dev was talking about the people that criticize them. It's fucking shitty, but as long as nobody else from Firewalk, that is working there right now is saying that, it is just some dude that is just disgruntled.
Yeah, and let him get flamed on the internet as he should. Let him get fucking flamed.
He absolutely deserves all the shit he gets right now.
All of it. Fucking all of it.
But let me catch someone from Firewalk tell people that. Bro, that you really don't want your game to sell.
Yeah, and what he means is the leadership. Like, you always gonna get some kooky motherfucker that works on something that says something stupid. But let the leadership at Firewalk talk like that. And okay. But yeah, if you want to be a dumbass and come out there and talk like that, fuck it, man. Come on out here and shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on out here, bro. But understand, you're gonna get your ass handed to you, as you should. But yeah. So those are the 3 out of the 4. Of course, is that the timing that it came out. It's a AAA game that's coming out during a time of the year where normally broader appealing AAA games from Sony come out.
Well, let's be honest also. Anyone that launched even close to Black Myth Wukong
Yeah.
was doomed to fail.
Yeah.
Bro, like you cannot. Oh, PlayStation, no. You knew.
Yeah.
You knew the pre-orders for Black Myth Wukong.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely knew. And you just said, okay, let us throw Concord into the fucking pits of hell together with Black Myth Wukong. Oh my god. Nah, bro, I'm telling you, Herman Holtz could be the last CEO that is publicly known for Sony, because he the next one probably gonna be protected, bro. So
He said, yeah, he gonna work in secret. He gonna be like anonymous and shit.
yeah, bro, because PlayStation fans don't know how to lose.
Yeah, they don't. They
because it was so long since they lost last time.
Yeah. You are not lying, bro. Yeah, they can't take that shit, bro.
Yeah, and if you are the CEO right now of PlayStation, I'm not envying you whatsoever.
You have the worst fucking job.
boy, do you have a fucking hill to climb right now.
Yeah. Bro, you ain't lying, bro. Bruh, you are not fucking lying at all. Yeah, man. I mean, and just for the record, because shout out to Wooly. I really do like Wooly. But again, I'm seeing a lot of people out here trying to cap for this, and we got to stop it. We just got to stop it. Like Wooly's like, oh, it's number 6 on the store. Not where I'm at. Where I'm at, that motherfucker is 49th or 48th.
No, don't shit on the people that like the game. Don't do that.
Yeah. If you like it, fine.
Just, I mean, in my opinion, don't attack anyone that doesn't attack you.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone is telling you you are a disgusting person because you don't like Concord,
I don't like,
then I have a problem with you. Because at that point, you are just a toxic motherfucker. That for whatever reason has to protect this game. I don't know why. Regret, maybe. Yeah. that you bought this game and someone else doesn't want to buy it with you. I have no idea, bro.
Yeah.
No, if someone is just expressing his love for this game, leave him be.
Yeah. So
I mean, some of these people also never played Overwatch, probably.
Yeah.
So for them, it's the first real experience with a hero shooter.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like playing Overwatch in 0.5 speed.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, it's. I got it under the best selling, not what's hot, but under best selling, it's fucking 48th. So here's my thing. Again, 4 things that plagued this game when it was released. You add in Wukong 2. Secondly, it has the pressures of being a PlayStation AAA game. There's just an expectation with that. Thirdly, fuck it. Look, the game is just mid. It's mid. It's okay. It's cool. It's not bad. It's mid. But when you take in all those other factors, when it was released, the PlayStation AAA stigma that it has to, battle, this shouldn't be surprising at all. Lastly, and one of the more important things is, like Cold Blood said, PlayStation fucked this game. They fucked it with no Vaseline. When it came to that free play, again, the game is mid, but it's not that bad to where there's only 140 people playing it. I don't think enough people, everybody on the internet, maybe I'm not interested in this game. I want something a little bit more hardcore or something, something a little bit more expansive, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of casual gamers on PC and PlayStation that wouldn't mind getting this. Maybe not. Maybe they're like, why would I stop playing Overwatch for this? You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. The problem is that despite all the three things that are plaguing this game, the fourth thing is that you would expect PlayStation of all people to try to put this in the best position to see some type of success. And they haven't done that. Hold on one second. They haven't done that at all. So, I feel bad.
Let's look at the article Paul Tassi put out about Concord.
Yeah, let's do that. Now I'm sorry. I turned on my PS5 and went to the store because now I'm seeing people on the internet talking about, oh yeah, it's sixth under what's hot. Come on, man. Gotta stop that. All right, let's go to Paul Tassi, Concord. He says the 10 reasons that Concord, read this. The 10 reasons that Concord has failed disastrously. Come on, man. Do Forbes? You got it. You got it. Okay, thank you. Oh my God. Really, Forbes, are you doing that bad that you got to jack off with ads all over the place? It says there is flopping and then there is flopping. And the release of PlayStation's Concord, which has failed to break 700 concurrent players on Steam with maybe just a few thousand on PlayStation, is one of the worst major failures we've seen in the last generation or more. Absolutely everyone saw this coming. Absolutely everyone saw this coming. From the moment the first real look at the game debuted just 2 months ago, the narrative formed that this was another hero shooter that no one actually wanted. That's the problem. And that it has certainly been proven true now. There are many, many reasons Concord failed, some more important than others, but it's an extremely long list. So let's begin. Number one is $40. I totally agree with that. I think Cold Blood gave a perfect alternative way to deal with this without you having to give in to the free-to-play model. It's $40. This is easily the single biggest factor in why the game can't break quadruple digits. I will agree with that too. Quadruple digits on Steam. So maybe there's 5 reasons, in my opinion, is the price. If this was free to play, or if people could engage with this without having to pay up front, it would do a lot better. And that's what Sony wants. They want people to engage with it. It's like the Stadia effect. It is. It's like the Stadia effect. If people tried it, they would probably be like, oh, this is cool. This will be in my rotation. But nobody wants to pay for it up front. No, but they don't even want to pay for, they don't want to pay for this because they didn't ask for it. So regardless of what it can do, again, it is the job of the product and service maker to make you believe why you need their product and service. It's not your job to run around and say, oh, you put this out here, let me see if I need it. You put that out there. No, it's my job to prove that to you. That's why when all these motherfuckers are out here saying, oh man, y'all won't give this a try. So the fuck what? If it doesn't entice me, it doesn't get my dollars. And games are more enticing when you have a more open way for me to engage with, where I don't have to pay up front, especially if I'm not interested. I'm not saying fucking Black Myth Wukong should be free to play. Absolutely not. The game is interesting. It was the buzz of the town. Put $70 on that bitch. Sell that mother. Put that bitch out in the street. Sell that motherfucker. Better give me my money. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You better pimp that shit out. Absolutely. But not Concord. Nobody cared about nobody. When we saw Concord, there was an audible gasp, like, ugh. Well, when y'all saw it, I won't say anymore.
Man, when the state of play was happening, bro, all you can see in the chat was L.
Yes.
The moment they said it's a 5v5 shooter.
Yes, bro. And that was even before, that was during the cinematic, bro. They didn't even show you the gameplay yet. That was during the cinematic where they showed you that shit, and you were like, everybody was like, L. What the fuck? Shout out to Geek to Sneak in the chat. He said, what's up, peeps? What's up, Geek? Aren't you proud of us? We ain't bashing Xbox. Not yet. Stay tuned. But yeah, you know, yeah, we got a reunion of old dirty blasters. Said it's been a while, Twisted. Concord is doing worse than Redfall is what I heard. It absolutely is. Geek to Sneak is cracking up. It is, bro. There is no sugarcoating this. Nobody asked for this. I think this is good so far. Kudos to you, Paul Tass. You must have had your coffee today. He says that in a market where every hero shooter is free to play, Concord tried to push its luck with an upfront cost with the promise of a bunch of free stuff and few microtransactions thereafter. It was not a deal fans wanted to make, as this is a game that badly needs to be tested. Yeah, oh, yes. It's a game that needs to be tested before purchase. However, given that the free beta of the game was that test a few weeks ago and it only drew 2,300 players, there's clearly a lot more going on here. I would agree with that, because a lot of people didn't even want to test it. Because they probably said, you know what? It's a hero shooter, but it's going to cost money up front. Why would I fucking waste my time? I don't even want to waste my time. Because even if I do like it, I'm not buying this. So I don't even want to tempt myself. That's what I think a lot of people say. I don't even want to tempt myself. No, and people have purchasing habits that they have. It is what it is. So the fuck what? 2, hero shooter oversaturation. All you have to do now is say the phrase hero shooter, and it's an instant turn off for most people. While yes, hero shooters like Overwatch, Apex Legends, and Valorant remain decently popular, new entries are almost instantly shunned, and that's exactly what happened to Concord from the moment that aspect of the game was revealed. It took 8 years to make. While that may signify that Firewalk was working hard on the game for years, it's also clearly indicative of the fact that this went into production right when Overwatch launched, and for some reason took nearly a decade to release, and by this point it feels dated. Like something that might have come out a year after Overwatch, not 8. Absolutely no game should take this long to make, none, and if one does, something has gone terribly wrong. I don't agree that 8 years is too long. Maybe 8 years for this game. How long did God of War take? God of War took like what, 7 years? The reboot. I think God of War took like 7 years. Yeah, this is where Paul, yeah. But Paul's gonna be Paul. I'll give him points to where he was accurate. Extremely poor hero design and aesthetics. A core problem with the game is that it's just viscerally unappealing. The game attempts to channel 70s sci-fi, an era that existed 30, 40 years ago before its target audience was born. And even then, it just looks terrible. The main issue here is not character diversity, as some have said, just they look so bad. You can head over to Overwatch to say, let's say, not traditionally attractive characters like Junkrat, Roadhog, and Damn Gorilla, and see how the aesthetic alone is the difference. So few of these designs are appealing, and with solid heroes, a hero shooter can't exist. Yeah, I would agree. There's nobody.
Remember
there.
me saying that?
What'd you say?
Remember me saying that?
Yeah.
Before he even thought about this,
Yeah.
I already said that these characters don't look like something I want to play as.
Yeah. No. Nothing appealed to me. Like even my dude, the dude that has he's like the basic dude that when he slides or something he goes faster or some shit like that. He looks generic. Just looks generic. Like what the fuck is this?
The only good character, like I said, is that one black dude with this hat on.
Okay.
That was the only one that looked kinda not complete fucking cringe.
Yeah. Like what is this? Like doll. What the fuck? What is this, bro? Like did they take bro from Spider-Man Welcome Home and give him some dishwashing gloves? I mean, what is this? This does not look. And here, number 5. Yes, there is an anti-woke crusade.
Moss,
Go ahead.
is his first name Mountain?
Mountain? Whose?
Yeah. Well, this dog guy. Is his first name Mountain?
Mountain Dog. Mountain Dog. He's a Mountain Dog. yeah. I mean, what is this? This looks so bad. Anyway, he can cite this. I don't think this is the problem, and I see people bringing this up.
Stop! No. If it was just about the damn pronouns, bro, I would call out everyone saying that bullshit. Nah, it's way worse than this bullshit. The damn pronouns wouldn't have stopped me from playing a great game.
Saying. That's why I don't even know if I want to read that. I don't think this matters. That's what I was about to say. Like, I get that there's arguments out here, but like, let's just say if this game was just full of straight white guys, nothing would change. You just wouldn't hear from them. That's all. Nothing would change. The game is just bad. I don't even see. And trust me, I'm not part of the anti-woke crusade. I hate political agendas in my game, believe you me. But I don't fit into this because sometimes I think they go to extremes. But I definitely hate political, on either side. But trying to pin this there. This feels like a political agenda. I don't even think this is the reason. I don't know if Paul was just trying to get 10 things up here because 10 is a fancier number than 9.
If that was the case, then Last of Us would never have sold as much as it did.
Thank you. Exactly.
Trust me.
Totally true. Totally true. That's why I don't even, like, we got to stop this shit, man. And it's not just one side or the other. Like, stop with this political shit. This is supposed to be an escape, man. Like, the game doing piss poor has nothing to do with pronouns or any of that shit. It's all, the game is fucking, look at this. Look what the fuck is this someone that's gonna shoot somebody or they're about to do some fucking dishes? What is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? What is this? Y'all want me to go defend this shit? Doll. What the fuck is a doll? What is this? This ain't got nothing to do with no fucking anti-woke anything. Yeah, there's people out there, focused on that, but if this was 30 white male characters, everybody would be shitting on it, including, I feel like the anti-woke people would be, but they would just be complaining it's a bad game. I don't see how anybody would still like this. So, I hate when I see shit like this on either side, man. Don't get me wrong, where there's a legitimate agenda or a legitimate overstep from one side or the other and someone's calling out, I'm with you there. This ain't got nothing to do with that. The game just is piss poor as far as the rollout and elements of the game.
No, but he brings up a very good point actually with the hyper woke Baldur's Gate 3 winning the fucking GOTY. He brings up a very great point.
Now, hold on. What did he say? Where did he say that at? You talking about? He says that in number 5.
Yeah.
He says, okay, some are cited the game.
It's not about fucking woke shit, bro. It's literally not.
Yeah.
Like those woke people are those anti-woke crusade people are the same that these. Some developers try to fucking get the fucking modern audience. They're about the same fucking size.
Yeah.
They would not have made a dent into this game's player count if the game was actually great.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I mean,
just stop. It's not about the woke shit. Yeah, trust me.
It's not.
It's way deeper than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Me first, please, is cracking up. I'm sorry, bro. I just don't like what the fuck. What is a doll? Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up. Where's doll at? No, I'm not calling doll. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Nobody at Sony said. Whoa, hold on, man. Dish gloves. Really? You're gonna put dish gloves in the snowboarding glasses and call the motherfucker doll? And what is doll backwards? It's fucking wad. So you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's like a wad of a fucking kid. Like, what are we doing here, bro? So let's not even go there like Cold Blood said. Let's move on. So many things wrong with this game. It's like, what the hell? And you want me to defend? You guys are writing manifestos out there on Twitter, want me to defend this? Like, fuck out of here, bro. 6, no marketing. True, another true point. Again, this is a game where the first official trailer for it came out just 2 months before launch. After that, there was painfully little marketing for it, almost as if Sony knew what was about to happen, and they didn't want to throw any money. Hey, yo. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Yeah, I had the exclusive footage. What is happening at Sony HQ?
But it clearly cost them a lot of awareness, as so many people I talked to had either never heard of the game or at the very least had no clue what's coming out. Cold Blood, I have a theory. I'm gonna try to go through it quickly, and I want your thoughts on this theory because it kind of ties in to my back and forth with Doc Dark earlier, where Doc was like, Sony's in a panic for this. I think Sony is being embarrassed by this.
I'm competitive. We said if you enjoyed the game, enjoy the game. We are not gonna judge you at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Do what you do, bro. Like
exactly.
King Fresh always says. but don't try to make other people like the game just because you like the game. That's all I'm asking for. Because when you say, "Oh, the game is great," and you're just a shit person for not liking it, bro, that's where I'm going. Like, nah, bro. I definitely ain't gonna try the game. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, but if you enjoy the game, great for you, bro.
Yeah, if you like it,
seriously. PlayStation got nothing from first party this year. So if you enjoyed this shit, good for you.
We're not saying this to make the case on why the game should be hated. We are doing this to make the case to say why it's getting such low reception is completely understandable. This is not an accident. This is not like a unicorn. Like, there were so many things, there were so many bad decisions made in regards to this game onto why it is getting such piss poor reception that fucking Redfall is getting more engagement. Redfall. And before y'all say, but it was in Game Pass, we're on Steam alone. More people bought Redfall. Redfall. Did y'all hear what I said? Redfall. More people bought Redfall. Redfall. Like I can sit there for the rest of the show and just say that. Hopefully it sinks in.
Let's be honest. I don't think a lot of these people even have this game now because they refunded that dog shit.
Yeah, probably not. But at least they were willing to try it because it was a game.
That's actually sad. At $70, they was willing to try that shit.
Yeah, at $70, more people were willing to try Redfall than try Concord at $40. And I'm not saying Redfall is the better game. Absolutely not. It just shows you how poor the rollout was in feeling the temperature and saying, not right now. And here's what I think. Go ahead.
My point is, this number 6 is the number one reason why this game absolutely bombed.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I would say number 2. I would actually say his number 1 is literally number 1 because I really like your idea. I think a lot of people, when they saw this game during the summer or a month or so ago, even during the free to play, well, that's my opinion. But when you think about it, it could be either or because I think a lot of it is because of what you're saying, what your number 1 is. The marketing, because I'm pretty sure there's some people that would play this, bro. They would buy it and play it. I just think a lot of people don't know about it. They just don't know.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
You just don't know. But I mean, it's interchangeable to me. I think that's a good number 1. I'm gonna put my number 1 on, even for the people that do. I still think enough people know. I'll put it like this. I will put your number 1 as number 1 because I think that would guarantee that at least maybe 10,000 people would try it.
Just look at Suicide Squad.
Yeah, come on.
Absolute dog water.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still charted on the NPDs.
Yep, exactly. Yep. No, you're right. I would make marketing number 1. I would make marketing number 1. Because I think there's enough casuals out there that, like you said, that tried Suicide Squad that would try this, and at least bring 10,000 to the table. At least 10,000 to the table. Still wouldn't be great, but now where I think it would get a lot of long-term longevity is if they tried a different business model. And I really like your idea of, okay, you got to put this out in front of people without there being a cause. So why not give them just a few characters? You don't upgrade, but you can play the game. You can feel for the game, and you know what I'm saying, and hop in some games. And if you want the other characters that come,
look, and to not make the one that paid the premium feel very bad about it, don't make them progress in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You don't progress. Nothing. You just get to pick a character.
You want to progress and unlock new skins and stuff.
Yep.
Pay for the game.
Pay for the game. Pay for the game. I like that.
And then get access to the other 12 characters or something. I don't
exactly. Yep. And I think that really helps the game. Because people, if you like it, then of course you're going to want to progress. Of course you're going to want to upgrade. Of course you're going to want some of that shit. And that unlocks when you buy the game. I think that's actually a better model than a free Cold Blood. You might have created a whole new fucking gaming business model for live service games.
No, just look at what League of Legends did a decade ago.
Oh, is that for? Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
They better do it. They better do it too. They got to do something. And I know a lot of people are antsy because they're like, we don't want the games as a service. I mean, we don't want the free to play model, which I totally understand because they don't want to run into another First Descendant situation. But you got to think of something. that paywall, which I hate to call just the price of a game a paywall, but in this case it is. That paywall is killing this game too, man. But yeah, I feel there are at least 10,000, bro, fucking Steam gamers that would be more than glad to pay $40 for this game to at least try it out, bro. Like, let's take a look at Concord. Is there an estimate of how many people actually might own this game? But let's go look at the charts. Let's see if there's an estimate.
Last time I checked, about 6.5K.
Okay, owner estimations, 7.3 thousand. It ranges from 7.3 thousand to 13,000, depending upon who's tracking. You're going to fuck. This thing keeps dropping by the moment. On launch day, it was like 130 something in top sellers. Now it's 706. Holy fuck.
Nah, Moss, didn't I tell you it's not gonna be a success on PC?
Yeah.
I literally told you that before we even knew anything about the Steam numbers or shit.
And I agreed with that. My thought was, at least on PlayStation, I thought the PlayStation people would cap and promote this, but they're not even. They don't even give a fuck. Like, it's 48th, 49th. Yesterday it was 43rd. So it's dropping there too. Here's a running theory that I have. Bro. I totally agree with Paul Tassi about the marketing, and I agree with you that it's the number one reason. Here's why I think there wasn't no marketing, and this kind of ties into what I was debating Doc Dark about. I think the problem is that Sony has completely pivoted. I want to show everybody something super quick. Sony, that's why I was telling Doc, like, bro, you kind of lost the plot here. You were onto something to where Concord failing would have caused them to panic, but they're not panicking anymore about it failing. They're kind of like expecting it, and they're trying to move on from it with minimal support, as Paul Tassi alludes to, because there's no marketing. If they were really panicked and really like needed this game to do better, Sony would be throwing money all over this fucking game, and they apparently aren't. So here's something that I took from the Sony excerpt from February, where they did the layoffs and Herman Hulst talked to the people about why they were making these changes and the PlayStation approach as of February 27th to be exact. PlayStation 5 is in its fourth year, and we're at a stage where and again, these are excerpts. I know this isn't the whole speech, but these are the most poignant parts that I felt like from the speech that I took slices of. PlayStation 5 is in its fourth year, and we're at a stage where we need to step back and look at what our business needs are. So again, we were on this games as a service kick, and now we got to look at, is this a kick that we need to keep kicking? Delivering the immersive, narrative-driven stories that PlayStation Studio is known for at the quality bar that we aspire to requires a reevaluation of how we operate. Again, we're looking at this current business plan propagated by Jim Ryan, and we don't know about it now. But growth within itself is not an ambition. So yeah, we went and acquired all these studios. We went and got Bungie. We did all this shit to grow and have a strong games as a service wing and keep up with Microsoft, and growth. It cannot just within itself have to be an ambition. We looked at our studios and our portfolio, evaluating projects in various stages of development, and have decided that some of those projects will not move forward. So when you tie that in to the fact that they slashed half of their games as a service initiative, I think what's going on is they had to borrow, and this is what I was trying to explain to Doc, they had to borrow money in order to do this. And then their investment went 45% in the direction of live service, and it was 45% 100% in the direction of single player. I don't know if everybody remembers that. Well, now that they realize this, they don't, number one, the games as a service might not work because people don't like it. And two, they don't need to pursue it because remember, they went aggressive after Microsoft talked about buying ABK and they went into a panic. That's where I believe Concord came from. Because if you look at when Jim Ryan was going back and forth with Phil Spencer about the emails and them trying to get a more guarantee on ABK and Phil playing hardball, not too long after that, all of a sudden they acquire Firewall. They acquire them because I think in Jim Ryan's mind, we might lose this shit and we're going to need to replace it. And this is going to be our Overwatch clone, is this game. And I think now that they realize that not only ABK is not a threat, but now Microsoft and Xbox is trying to placate to them so they don't need this games as a service push anymore. That's why they slashed half of them. But again, they still borrowed that money. They still borrowed it. So they got to make good on it somehow. So I think they're just putting the games out there and they're seeing how they go. Now they had belief in Helldivers 2, and Helldivers 2 was probably before they really got a chance to sit down with Microsoft and get some assurances on them bending the knee. So they really put their weight behind Helldivers 2. But I think by the time Concord was coming out, they just looked at their portfolio and said, look, we have no AAA first party games coming out this year. Fuck it. Let's just put this Concord out. Because it just comes out of nowhere, bro. It comes out of nowhere 2 months before the game comes out. Then they do a state of play. It's like they're not putting the PlayStation heft behind it. That's my thought process, Cold Blood. I don't know what you think about that.
About what?
About them not really believing in Concord, them just putting it out there. Like Concord was only created to clone Overwatch because they were fearful they were going to lose it. And now that they don't have nothing first party for the end of the year, they just said, fuck it, just throw Concord in there. That's what I'm thinking is going on.
Well, I would say Firewalk was very much an impulse buy.
Yep.
They should have first have released their game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then see if any further partnership was even worth it with them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally agree.
Like it might even end the same for Fair Games.
Yeah.
If I was PlayStation, I might have waited first.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I mean, I would have still funded them.
Yeah.
To see where it's going, but immediately acquiring everything just because you're afraid Xbox is gonna just buy up the whole industry.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
I think Jim Ryan panicked. That's as much as Jim Ryan may have done good, I think this goes on the list of bad things that he's done, and it's probably when you kind of screw up in Japanese business culture, you gotta do seppuku. And probably because of all the good that he's done. Because look, PlayStation is fucking killing it. Globally, the console sales are only 3% less than what the PlayStation 4 is, but they're getting 21% more in revenue than the PlayStation 4 did. That's surpassed the 15% price that games and content is going up in. Games and content have gone up in 15%, and PlayStation is still making 6% higher than that. So there's a lot of successes with the PlayStation 5. Fucking the Portal is destroying it. Number one peripheral out there when everybody thought that was going to be a failure. You know what I'm saying? Just so many things going right with the PlayStation 5.
I hope they make a handheld now.
Yeah, because there was a story that said they're looking at that and they're now really eyeballing the handheld market. That would be great.
Before that, I would have said it's a bad idea. But now that we know that PlayStation people really want the fucking handheld, yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's.
But you gotta make sure it's better than a fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah, it has to be.
Oh my God! You cannot make another fucking PS Vita, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It has to be a powerful ass machine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and then you just call it the Portal X. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I mean? Where the Portal is connected via wireless. You know, that way you expand the brand. I would call it the Portal X or the PS Portal X. You know, where the first model has to be tethered to the console, but this one runs games natively. So you don't need Wi-Fi access in order to play this one. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. Just further expand on that brand. But I hope someone passes this to PlayStation, or I hope PlayStation is listening.
I agree with Chris Coleman, actually. That I'm not saying it's an Overwatch clone at all.
No, I'm not. I'm not either.
Well, you kind of did. You literally said it.
No, well, I mean, that was. I think that was their impetus in getting it, because there's so many comparisons made. I think that was their impetus. I'm sorry, but go ahead, keep responding. Let me take this real quick. Go ahead, Cold Blood. I'm sorry.
No, Concord plays more like you said, like a Halo or a Destiny. Just that Destiny has a fucking hero shooter mod. That's what I felt when I played it.
Yeah, I think that it's that was their, or what I meant to say is that is their response to Overwatch. They felt like if we lose Overwatch, this will be this is our game that'll retain our Overwatch audience. You know what I mean? Because what you got to remember is, when talking about ABK and particularly Call of Duty, when Jim Ryan said we wouldn't recover, he didn't mean that we could never get the money back. He's saying that we would never be able to recover that player base, from those games if they go to Xbox. He's saying that, we working close with Activision Blizzard is why these games are as big as they are on our platform, and we would have to pull back from that. He doesn't mean that PlayStation would never recover from that, but they would lose a lot of business permanently if these games were made exclusive. But he didn't mean that we would never recover and be able to operate. He meant even if these games did stay, we could never work with Xbox that closely, like we worked with Activision Blizzard when they were by themselves. We could never recover the level of engagement to those games and financial output that those games will produce. Which, again, the regulators said, we don't give a fuck about your business. We just give a fuck about gamers getting access to games. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like an Overwatch clone from a business perspective. That they saw this and they said they thought from a business perspective this would retain their Overwatch consumers. So now, is it close to a Halo? I mean, gameplay wise, I don't know about that. This is a hero shooter where the TDK is a lot higher. I mean, it moves a little bit slower than significantly slower than Overwatch, but I don't know if this is like Halo. Let's see what other comments we have. The dawn of AI is already here, programming of games, so the industry will only keep the bare minimum of its workforce and allow AI to do the rest of the work. I don't think that that's going to be a problem for PlayStation. Xbox does not have an eye for, and again, this is not me being an asshole or dickhead. This is me just understanding how the businesses work. Microsoft or Xbox isn't structured for quality. So when you're structured for quality, you need that human eye as the QA mechanism. You can't replace that with AI right now. Like, unless what is it, symbiote? I think that's the word, where it has its own independent thought. Until AI becomes a symbiote, there's no. You know what I'm saying? Nope. PlayStation's not going to do that. They're too reliant upon a critical eye, a cognizant person looking over and saying, oh, not just looking at tendencies and trends, but can connect to the emotional level. And you can't do that unless you're a symbiont. Even AI can't do that. They can look at numbers and how numbers, what tendencies are with reactions numerically, but that's something that even AI can't do. And Microsoft is not in it for the quality. They're in it to try to take advantage of trends. So AI fits right up their alley. I don't think that's going to be a problem with PlayStation. With that said, yeah, that's the problem I see with the game. Let's continue to go over more. Marketing is a problem. Number 6, focus on mocap cinematics. Yeah, I think that's silly for this game. Gameplay doesn't stand out. Absolutely agree. It's derivative. Okay, so that's number 9. Of so many things, again, the concept and the characters feel like subpar Guardians of the Galaxy, but gameplay feels like a mix of Overwatch, Valorant, and Destiny 2. Especially, yeah, that's what I would say. I totally agree with that assessment. That it may not be a 1v1 match of Overwatch, but it's more like Overwatch, Destiny 2, I guess Valorant. That has resulted in a comical number of skills taken directly from Destiny, from invisible hunter dodges and exploding throwing knives, Titan barricades and seismic slams, Warlock floating and air dashing and solar grenades. It's silly. And again, one other thing that makes it fail to stand out. Number 10 is drowned out, not just by other hero shooters, but at the exact moment we're paying attention to anything else but Wukong. Yeah, exactly. The timing was just god awful. Like, with all the conversation that was happening around Wukong, why the fuck would you release this around him? And here's
to be fair, Moss. Did they know when they announced the release that Black Myth was gonna be such a fucking success?
Not as much as we thought it would be, but I think they knew that it was going to be successful enough. It was going to be successful enough, I think, to.
No, I say, like 2 weeks before launch, they should have seen the pre-order numbers for Black Myth Wukong and for Concord and went like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. why are we even releasing this right now?
I would even say even months in advance. Like when we realized that this season was going to be dry and everybody was talking about Black Myth Wukong, maybe Sony fooled themselves because, and maybe this is just the naivete to your point, Cold Blood, this might be a Herman Holtz thing. Because we know that Sony pays attention to Digital Foundry, whatever they put out there. And maybe Sony was so panicked. This could be the first chink, the first, I won't say the first chink, but the first clear chink in the armor of Herman Holtz, because this would fall under his belt. This is not Hiroki Totoki. This is not the other dude. This is something that Herman Holtz would have done. Maybe he was so worried about the state of the performance of Black Myth Wukong on PlayStation 5 that he doubted how important it would be or how big it would. Maybe he made that doubt. He had that doubt. The moment I found out that Wukong was going to be exclusive, even if it was temporary, I'm pushing, even if it's only for a couple of months, I am pushing What the fuck happened? How did the music stop? I'm pushing Black Myth Wukong. Can't play the current song. Okay, we'll play the next fucking song. I'm pushing Black Myth Wukong. I'm pushing Concord to fucking next year. I'm pushing it to next year. I'm sorry. And then we just got Astrobot. We'll just rely on Astrobot.
Right next to GTA 6.
What do you say?
Right next to GTA 6, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it to February. I would push it to February. And I think it would have fared a lot better in February because it's not like in that window of, all right, we're wrapping up the year with a big AAA exclusive. And then I could put some marketing behind it in February. But my thing is, the moment I know that Black Myth Wukong is going to be exclusive, I know that then becomes the de facto holiday game for PlayStation. And then people really aren't checking for Concord. See, I had estimated that Concord would see some nominal success on PlayStation, I thought for like a few months. I thought that it would chart because of PlayStation 5 gamers, and then it would quickly fall off because there's just nothing spectacular about it. And people weren't, I always knew that the engagement would be piss poor on PC. I didn't think it would be this poor, but I always knew that engagement. I just thought that the PlayStation people would cap for it and bring it up and put it in the top 10. But the moment PlayStation people found out that Black Myth Wukong was now the de facto PlayStation game, the majority of their attention focused there, and it's proven in the numbers. They said, oh, fuck Concord, it can crash and burn. We don't need this anymore because we never really wanted it in the first place. And I think what you see on social media, if you like the game and you're promoting that you're liking it, I don't care. But for those of you that are going out of your way to promote why you like it and then, like Cold Blood said, denigrate those that don't like it, you're actually making it worse. You are the proverbial friend who was walking down the street with your buddy shits himself, and instead of just scaring him off to the side or helping him get to your house unnoticed or whatever so he can change his trousers, you're literally like, hey everybody, Johnny shitted himself. Help me open his cheeks and get this shit out of here. You're literally making a bad situation embarrassing. Every time you guys go out there and see, this is what you guys were missing. Pop, 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 pow, pow, pow. And then we go to Steam and we do some shit like this where we fucking see how many people are playing the game and we pull up the fucking numbers and there's a fucking 168 people out there. You're just making matters worse. Like if you're playing the game, like I've seen some cool footage out there. I don't know about you, Cole, but I've seen some cool footage. It still doesn't make me want to buy the game. But if you want to show off your cool footage and put the shit out there, fine. That's not a problem. But don't go out there and behest to those of us that are like, God damn, this looks like dog shit. Don't try, don't call us out because you're actually making it worse. Chris Coleman says Wukong is, oh my God, now he sound like a bot. Is it, bro? Did you turn into a bot overnight? He said Wukong is a one and done game. Hey, bro. Hey, Chris. Did Phil Spencer get a hold of you? God damn it. God damn it. What is he talking about? He said the lane Concord is irrelevant. Game's over. I didn't buy. Bro, look. Your subjective approach to Wukong does not negate the objective reality that the the PlayStation gamer, how they've approached Wukong versus Overwatch. It doesn't matter that, and I mean this in the most diplomatic way, who cares if you didn't buy Wukong? Everybody and their grandmammy is buying Wukong right now. What are you talking about? What the fuck? What are you who cares? I'm not trying. I mean this in the nicest way. Who cares? What is that? Oh shit! Chris ain't buy it. Can we take it back? No. And Chris, you know this better than I do because you've been on this channel when I was capping and doing my Xbox capping. You were one of the people that was out there. That's why I'm giving you such a hard time right now, because you know better. You was one of the people that's like, no, boss, I didn't even like that. You know better than this. You know the pride that PlayStation gamers have. And now that Wukong is a de facto exclusive, they looked at Concord and said, fuck that water. Fuck that doll. They don't give a fuck about Concord no more. You know the pride that PlayStation gamers have when it comes to their exclusives. So where they might have been willing to get Concord, where they might have been a little bit more willing to throw their support behind Concord, because it is a PlayStation first party game, they were like, no, fuck that. I ain't got to do that because we got Wukong and they don't have it. And Wukong is the shit. So fuck that doll. Hell no to the doll. You know better than that, Chris. You know that. And if you beat single player games and toss them to the side, that's you. Fucking God of War, all these other games are still charting, bro. These one and done games for PlayStation are still charting when they're only on PlayStation. What are we doing here? Why are you using bot rhetoric to try to cap for a PlayStation first party game? You know better. I love you, Chris, but you know better, bro. Me First Please says, no, this is a bit of Monday morning quarterbacking in regards to Wukong. No one predicted that the success. No, so I'll finish your comment, Me First. Predicted that the success of most of the players on Steam would be there, the impetus. No, nobody predicted. This ain't even got nothing to do with Steam, bro. This is all PlayStation. Like, you got motherfuckers fighting over in China to buy PlayStations just off of Wukong, right? Nobody predicted that. I'll give you that. But just atypical habits and understanding the demographic of your consumer base and where their attention would go. None of us knew how popular Wukong was, but there was enough information out there that at least at launch, Wukong was going to see numbers. And if you launch Concord in the same week of Wukong, you're cannibalizing sales on your platform. That should have been known at least at launch. Now, particularly over time, you could assess, well, you know what? Launch week would be bad for us because of Wukong, and the subsequent weeks would be better because we feel like we got a great game that's going to get great engagement. We already know that isn't what PlayStation was thinking because they didn't even put any marketing in this game. So you have a game that you don't have faith in, that you're putting up against a game that maybe you didn't know was going to be the juggernaut that it was, but you knew it was going to do numbers. And now it's a de facto PlayStation game exclusive. Come on now. There was enough to know that putting Concord, a game that you really don't believe in, putting Concord in a week where a de facto big ticket exclusive was launching was a death sentence for Concord in particular. Number one, you don't even believe in the game. And two, you roll it out here. It's like you kind of wanted to just be out there. Look, investors, we're trying, investors. Thank you, Captain Crunch. It just is. We just need to. Concord is an epic failure. I'm sorry. And it's not, I don't say that like, it's not like Indiana Jones. Like you guys, I'm not saying, and I'm not talking to you guys in the chat. We're just engaging in conversation. And I really do appreciate the conversation. It's awesome. I'm not talking about you guys. When I say you guys, I'm talking about those that are out on social media that are trying to disparage those of us that are like, God damn, what happened with this game? Why, and those that are just sitting there making an analysis like Paul Tassi. Oh, you guys were making this analysis and it isn't fair or whatever. Gaming isn't fair. Gaming has a set of rules that it operates under. And Herman Holst, of all people, I think Herman Holst probably saw the Digital Foundry, saw how maybe the performance on the PlayStation 5 wouldn't land well with Digital Foundry, and he assessed that would hurt the game. And even if it would have hurt the game, it wouldn't have hurt the game that much to where Concord would have had a chance. If there was any hope for Concord, it would have been launched either before Wukong or significant in a time significantly after. This thing should have, at the soonest, been launched. If you were going to, at the very least, should have been launched a couple of weeks beforehand. If you're going to do it in the same time frame, and have to launch before Wukong, or launching in 2025, first quarter. No, it can't. He says this can be applied for Horizon Forbidden West, yet it's not the bomb Concord is, but Elden Ring. No, it's not. No, it's not, because people wanted Horizon Forbidden West. Nobody wanted Concord. Bro, come on, you guys are trying too hard. When the free demo was out on Steam, it didn't even reach 3,000. Or no, what did it reach?
2.3K.
Yeah. Like the engagement was super low. But look at the Marvel game. What was the Marvel Rivals? In comparison. Nobody wanted this game, bro. Where Horizon Forbidden West was a heavily anticipated game, and Elden Ring was never exclusive to PlayStation. You're mixing apples and oranges. Wukong is temporarily exclusive to PlayStation, bro. These are not the same. PlayStation gamers wanted another Horizon. It was what they were looking for. So that support was solid. PlayStation gamers don't want Concord. They don't want it. They didn't want it. But they may have been willing to support it if it was like the only exclusive AAA wise that they had to lean on. They would be like, well, shit, this is all we're getting. We got to eat off of something. Let's go eat the moldy cheese. Let's just cut the corners off the moldy cheese. What? There's fresh cheese? Oh, fresh cheese fell off the truck. Oh man, fuck this moldy cheese. That's exactly what happened, bro. Concord is moldy cheese. I guess that's why the colors are what they are. The color of mold and shit. It's moldy cheese, bro. People were willing to like, oh fuck, all right, well, I'll just cut the corners off. I'll cut the mold off and we'll still eat the cheese. What? Fresh cheese fell off the truck. Oh man, fuck that. Totally different. Gamers would have probably been more on the PlayStation 5, would have been more willing to support Concord if it was the only thing they had to deal with. But now something fresher came that's exclusive. They're putting their money behind that. That is not the scenario with Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West. Totally different, bruh. I don't know why that was thrown out as an example. Totally different. He says almost and yes is not the bomb. Almost. Because apparently they didn't because it hasn't sold that well as the huh? I don't know what you talking about, bro. Y'all try, man. hey, PRK. I'm trying to understand it myself, bro. They out here trying, bro. They try. All right, I need to stop because Cold Blood got to get ready for thingy. All I'm going to say is, when it comes to exclusive games, let's move on, because I know Cold Blood, we're supposed to end by noon. When it comes to exclusive games, exclusives matter. All right, I address Doc Dark in a video that I had put out there. It's gonna air later today. It's a mini cast. It's a little lengthy. It's 45 minutes, but trust me, we really explain why. Here's why I explain. There's 3 scenarios that are talked about. People being upset about the loss of exclusivity. They're saying that's not a big deal. Exclusives don't matter to consumers. And then the last thing is that exclusives only matter to Sony, who's in a panic when they don't succeed. Here's some things I want to alert you guys to. This is why console exclusives matter, and how your console purchase is devalued when you lose exclusives. Here's how it works. If you're primarily a console gamer, because it's the best way for you to play, building a PC is too expensive. Going on the cloud is not giving you the performance that you want, or you know what I'm saying, it just doesn't work. You're not getting all the games, you know what I mean? So console is your best way to go. When you have a console that puts their exclusives day and date elsewhere, then that hardcore that pumps a lot of money into that, they go. Even when you do it with PC, when you put your games day and date on PC, all of them, then the console gamer, the hardcore console gamer, says, why am I here? I might as well buy me a PC. And when they go buy a PC, you, as the console gamer, you lose out on not only people that are supporting the console, but the console maker is now losing revenue. Why? Because now they're losing 30% of their revenue to Steam. Because let's be honest, nobody's going to the fucking Windows Store. In Microsoft's case, you're losing 30% where would have gotten 100%. Now you're only getting 70%, and you're missing out on all of the multiplats. Because believe you me, again, if I'm on PC, I'm not buying shit from the Windows Store. I'm buying it from Steam, and I'm getting codes from Green Man Gaming and shit at a discount, right? So they lose all that money. So if they're losing money and they're losing support, that's less they can do to pump up and market their console, and the less consoles are just sold. So then as there are less consoles sold, third-party developers, as you see this year, over the last several months, they look at the poorly selling console now and say, you know what? Why would I support that? It doesn't justify my costs in porting my game over there. I could better use those resources to boost up the game and make it more efficient and prettier on PlayStation. Why would I fucking waste my time over there? So now you done spent $300 to $500 for this console, and you've lost out not only on exclusives, but now you're losing out on third-party games. So that's why even if you don't care where games are at, you better be concerned on what titles hit there exclusively, because even though you don't care, everybody else traditionally does. And that could affect what you get on said console. Now, for those that believe that console exclusives only benefit gamers, that is bullpucky. The business model, which I've gone over a lot with Shuei Yoshida, speaks otherwise. But one more other thing that's real important I want to show you guys real quick is this. This is from Tweaktown. This is from Derek Strickland Tweaktown. He shows you that from the PlayStation 4 through the PlayStation 5 era, even though the PlayStation first party and exclusive games sell well, bulk of the money, even during the PlayStation 4 era and likely before, comes from multi-plat sales. Quote, according to the data, Sony sold a total of 3.303 million games on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 across digital and in-store channels. While Nintendo makes most of its games from its first-party sales, Sony is much different. The split is significantly in the favor of third-party games. And to show you that, look at the pink, look at the blue. This is from PlayStation 4 through PlayStation 5. So the business model has not changed. You use your exclusives as bait to get people to buy the third-party games on your title. Yes, is Hiroki Totoki trying to get more out of the Sony IP to make up for margins? Absolutely, but that's still not their business. The business is third-party games. We talk about that more in our video. We don't have the time now to get into all that. Check out our video at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? I already talked about Sony, and is this business model working for Sony? Absolutely, it's working for Sony. How is it? How do we know it's working for Sony? I want you to check this out right here. This is a chart from that business meeting that they had with the investors not too long ago, where per capita, per console, stronger life-to-date spend. It used to be $580 during the PlayStation 4 era. Now it's $731. That is a growth of like around 21%. They have 26% here. I don't know why. Maybe my math is wrong. But regardless, whether it's 21, 20, 26%, game pricing has only gone up on an average of 15%. So Sony is exceeding the inflation of game costs from generation to generation. So yes, the model is successful. Now, to what my brother Doc Dork was talking about, where he was like, Concord is a flop, and look, they have to do, they need this. We already showed you, per what Herman Holtz said in February, that them relying on games as a service is no longer their strategy. Yes, they kept half of them, but a lot of evidence points to that they kept half of them to satisfy the needs of the investors that gave them the extra money to do this in the first place. They slashed half of them, and they're pivoting back to their story narrative-driven things. Like they said, delivering the immersive narrative-driven stories that PlayStation Studios is known for at the quality bar that we aspire to requires a reevaluation of how we operate. So again, they looked at the whole games as a service thing that was happening with Jim Ryan. They said, nah, we can't do that anymore. So they reverted back to the prior business with a few caveats, right? So when you look at that, and you look at the fact that under the original business model, they still grew above the inflation of game prices, we now got to look at how successful they are with the first party venture of that old model. Now remember, we've showed you time and time again, Hiroki Totoki gave you the business model over a decade ago. We're going to invest in games. 60% of them are going to fail, but 40% of them are going to do well enough or do so much that they fund all 10 of the games. So that means that all Sony needs in order to have a successful exclusive lineup is for every 10 exclusives, particularly AAA exclusives, they just need 40% to hit. If 40% hits, They will fund more exclusives, which will make their marketplace even more attractive than Xbox's. That's all they're looking for, right? So let's look at the last 10 AAA exclusives. Concord, it's a flop, okay? Stellar Blade, charted good, did well, right? It was on the charts. Rise of the Ronin, charted good. Even the developer said, hey, look, you know, this was like one of our best games or whatever. It charted well. Final Fantasy Rebirth, it's still charting and it's doing phenomenal sales wise. It's still like in the top 10, I believe, year to date for PlayStation. Okay. And those games are only available on PlayStation 5, except for Concord. Now again, for the sake of it still being a AAA effort, I got Last of Us Remake up here right now. That charted good. It's still charting and doing well in the PlayStation Store. But if we want to remove that, we can. I'll show you the game that will take its place. But we got Last of Us Remake up there. It charted well, did fine. Helldivers 2, again, still charting. We know that did phenomenal. Marvel Spider-Man 2, they just announced that it sold 11 million copies. It's still charting, it's doing well. Final Fantasy 16, despite all the hate that they tried to make, Square Enix came out and said it was despite its flop as a company, it was one of the games that did well for them. Forspoken, that was a flop. We weren't sure at first, but then we found out it was a flop. Studio got closed down, got disbanded rather, and the people moved. That was a flop. All right. And the 10th game is God of War Ragnarok. We know how that did. Now, if we take Last of Us Remake out, then we get to replace that with Horizon Forbidden West. We already know that did great. Okay? So out of the last 10 games, 8 charted, did their job, did what they needed to do. They were successful. They were successful to extremely successful. 2 of them were flops. That is an 80% success rate. PlayStation said they only need a 40% success rate. So let's cut the crap that they're panicking over their first party games. Let's stop that. Or they're panicking over Concord. Concord financially is going to cause heartburn, absolutely. And they're going to do things to adjust that. Trust me, I'm not saying everything is peaches and roses. But it's more of an embarrassment than anything. It's not creating panic. Also, to understand why they reverted back to the old business model, in January 2022, the ABK deal was announced. Following day, Sony lost $20 billion in stock evaluation overnight. Took them 2 years to get that back, by the way. In May of 2022, Jim attempts to agree to terms with Xbox to confirm that they're going to keep the ABK games on PlayStation if they buy ABK. But Jim isn't getting what he wants to hear. So what happens? In July of 2022, they go buy Bungie. In August of 2022, Jim is still struggling because he hears back from Phil and feels like, nah, we're only guaranteeing ABK games till 2027. 2023, Sony announces its games as a service investment after it borrowed all that money from investors to invest more in the games as a service. October 2023, Microsoft closes the ABK deal, but they did it with huge concessions. And we know that after Microsoft saw that, all that ABK money that was being made on PlayStation, they did an about face. And after said about face, during their layoffs, February 2024, Sony pivots to a new strategy and they say, we're slashing these games as a service titles, and they're indicating that they are focusing on their narrative-driven stories once again. The timeline is there. You just got to look for it. You got to stop listening to Xbox only podcasts and the information will be out there. All right. So, and knowing all that, and knowing that ABK is going nowhere, and knowing, as Paul Tassi points out as well, Sony really didn't put a huge push behind Concord because they kind of knew what it was. They knew what it is. You see activity not indicative of somebody panicking. I think you see in activity indicative of someone who realized, to Cold Blood's point, They wasted a lot of money in jumping the gun on these purchases. And now they're correcting and readjusting for that. They're going to put out Concord. They're going to put out the Fair Games title. They're going to put out whatever else, Marathon. And they're going to see how it shakes. And hopefully, out of all those games, they'll generate enough money to pay back those investors and cut their losses. But Sony is dedicated to their story narrative driven games again. The only fuddy-duddy shit that they're doing that irks me in cold blood is these different quadrants of games. Oh, if it's games as a service, it's going to launch on PC day and date. If it's a tentpole game, it's going to be exclusive for a while. If it's an experimental game, who knows what's going to happen? And then experimental could mean anything. Yeah, that's a bunch of bullshit. But again, that's Hiroki Totoki trying to make up for margins, which are a temporary problem for Sony. Hopefully they wake up, they get a wake-up call in that arena too. But to say that PlayStation is panicking over Concord, that's bullpucky. That's indicative of the information that's out there. That's just wishful thinking because, again, people put all their money on Xbox doing better than what it is, and they want to drag Sony down with it. Point blank. Is Sony perfect? Absolutely not. Is Concord a big-ass embarrassment? The fuck it is. Hell yeah. But let's clearly understand what's going on with these games and these companies. Xbox literally was on the brink of death, and they were only saved by ABK, who was only lucrative by publishing on PlayStation. It's not PlayStation that needs Xbox. It's Xbox who needs PlayStation. That's it. That's it on that. Thank you, Captain Crutch. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate it. It's just, we got to, shout out to my homie Doc. I know I love him. I love him dearly. Like I said, I love him like a child. I never played child support before. But I think the problem that, go ahead.
But while you're talking, put up the video that I sent you.
Hold on one second. But I think the problem with a lot of creator talent out here is they don't. I see. A lot of creator talent out here is that they hunker down in their own space. Like, okay, I favor PlayStation, so I'm going to listen to the PlayStation podcast and shuffle around that information. Or I like Xbox. No, that's the worst thing you can do. My favorite podcast is a pro Xbox podcast, but they properly separate their Xbox emotions from the facts. And they're called Rebel FM. They will bore a lot of you guys because it's a lot of talking like this and a lot of talking like that. But I get it. But these are people that are in the industry. They know what the fuck they're talking about. And despite their own personal likes, they know how to separate their personal likes from what's really happening. So I don't just restrain myself to other Xbox or PlayStation rhetoric and just try to recycle it and give it to you guys here. I'm getting a wealth of information, and I feel like that when you get a wealth of information and you absorb a wealth of information, then it comes out in what you have to say to people. So that's just my suggestion. Not to just, I'm not trying to zero in on Doc. I'm highlighting my conversation with Doc because that's who I talked to this weekend on Twitter. I'm just saying this to everybody. If there's no lesson that you guys, if there's no bigger lesson out here, stop listening to the sources that you listen to. They have led you astray. They've clearly led you astray. And I'm not trying to be a braggart, not trying to be an asshole, but I think you would do a lot better listening to Cold Blood and MM2K on MM2K Gaming. If you would have just followed us over the last year or so, none of this shit would surprise you. Would be in such a better fucking place as a gaming consumer. Tell us where collectively we were wrong. I may have been on the wrong side of something and Cold Blood may have taken something, but collectively, somebody was right about every fucking thing that happened in gaming over the last year and a half. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Who else can say that? I'm not trying to be a braggart. I'm just trying to wake y'all the fuck up. You guys would have been so much better off listening to us. Because yes, we will kick Phil in the ribs till he coughs up a lung. But if PlayStation is doing dog shit rollouts like they are with Concord, they're going to get this work too. And we don't just listen to one source or a bunch of regurgitated fanboy mess. We know what the fuck we're talking about. 40 years of gaming experience here as well. You guys would have been so much better off listening to us. So if there's anything for you to learn, that's whether you're a listener or a creator, whatever the fuck, stop listening who you listen to. Get new sources. DM me, ask me who I listen to. How do I do my research? You can probably do the same with Cold Blood if he wants you bothering him. But you're so much better off.
Mouse, I'm not really doing research. I mean, I'm literally speaking from the heart. It's you the one that is always everywhere looking up shit.
Well, they need to just, but then they need to just listen to us then. That's what the fuck they need to do. I would have shared, and that's the thing that kills me. You guys been listening to these people. Some of these people that you've listened to, they are the ones that influence you to come into this game, to be part of the console war conversation and be a console warrior here and there, right? And they've led you astray. And you guys are still listening to them. That doesn't make, and that's why I say, you guys don't do this nowhere else in life. If you were paying somebody to mow your grass, or they were doing some service for, even if they were doing it for free and they kept fucking your shit up, are you still, is the person still going to be doing it for you? No, you would have told them, no, I got someone else to do it. Thank you. But you guys are so indoctrinated. You still listen to the same motherfuckers that have misled you. Everything that happened with Xbox, we told you. I even told you about how cloud was going to affect ABK. Y'all was who? What? How? Cold Blood has told you about a multitude of shit, including Helldivers and Concord and so forth. What? Y'all keep fighting facts. I don't get it. It doesn't make you look smarter to repurpose fiction and try to make it fact. It makes you look crazy. If I'm to be honest, it makes you look crazy. Do yourself a huge favor. Get rid of all your previous sources. Tune in to MM2K. That's the best thing you can do. MM2K Gaming, MM2K and Cold Blood. That's the best fucking thing you can do. All right. That being said, let's do this. Cold Blood gave me a clip with some potential breaking news. Let's hear what the fuck is going on here. This is Jeff Grubb on his Game Mess morning show.
Y'all are cooked if he is right, because oh my god, the dudes that said, "Oh, it's gonna be a showcase in September," oh, y'all are cooked if he is right about this.
Let's see.
WCCF Tech says they spoke to at least one developer who not only knew about it but knew the specs, and an Italian multiplayer, the website, also spoke to several who actively knew about the platform. Everything points to the fact that studios large and small have been given access to dev kits, and that we won't have to wait very long for both a reveal and a launch. I'll say, last I heard, this thing's still coming out this year. And then more recently, what I've heard is there is probably going to be a state of play, a PlayStation state of play, not a showcase, a state of play at the end, by the end of September. Let's do this one again. God, that was fun last time, Emma, where I was like, hey, the state of play is coming in this month, and then the month wasn't over and people were still like, well, where is it? It's, well, the
where is it?
The month's not over.
Well, it says it's happening.
Let's do that exact same thing again. It's probably going to be late next month, September. But yeah, state of play. I don't know if the PlayStation 5 Pro is in this state of play, but where else would it be? Like,
I agree with you.
Now, they could it could have its own thing, right, Emma? It could have its own thing, but I think state of play, end of September.
Yeah.
And then you sell this thing beginning in like October even, or maybe November. But this thing is going on sale this year. So that's honestly, end of September feels like maybe the latest they can get away with holding off an announcement on this.
Well, there you have it. Not a showcase. So no showcase this year. Just state of plays. And it might have the PlayStation 5 Pro, which I can't imagine it wouldn't. But I get a feeling, Cold Blood, to the point of shit. What the fuck am I doing? To the point of Thrash. I don't think that PlayStation feels like they need to market to the West. I see a lot of their efforts like going out east. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think that needs to change.
So they don't need to market at all? That is what you're saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. That sounds like they're that just sounds like to me that that's their approach, which that is not good. That definitely needs to change.
Well, you must be very stupid then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll say wait for King Thrash's documentary. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Here's what I will say though. As much as I get the motivation, because PlayStation put a lot of attention out west, and they put their out west attention in the hands of Jim Ryan and Herman Holst, and now it's parts of that seem to be backfiring in a significant fashion, and they're like, now we need to reel this back in. And actually, we're going to see more growth out east. I get the motivation to kind of like pull out of a lot of the rhetoric and the bullshit and the social media stuff out west, but you can't do that to your largest consumer base. You just can't do that. You just got to deal with it. Herman Holst just has to earn his fucking money. Herman Holst has to earn his money. Even though a large part of where Nintendo is like just crushing it is Japan, they never laid off of Nintendo America, Nintendo of America. I don't think that's a smart move. I don't think that's a smart move at all. So this is breaking. No, it's not. There's about, this is called probably not seeing a release no time soon. Move on. Well, here goes Xbox. They put more Fire TVs are getting in on the fun. Grab your controller with Game Pass Ultimate and download the Xbox app on your Fire TV to get started. So it's now Fire TV Stick 4K Max first gen and Fire TV Q third gen. Oh, I have a Fire TV Q third gen, but I don't have Game Pass Ultimate. You can kiss my balls. I'm not getting it either. Fuck that. You will get $11.99 from me, and that is it. All right. So, Space Marine 2. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that's pretty much it for our show. I'm sorry, Cold Blood. You know, I get my moods. Another 3-hour show. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Cold Blood gets some rest before he gets in and plays some games. It's 1 o'clock. Doriega, I don't know you be on Outlaws and Division too much. Just messing. What's up? Hey, what's up, Doriega? Hope everything is going well with you, brother.
Oh my god. Moss. You thought Starfield was bad in 2023?
Yeah.
Wait till you see what the fuck they did with the new patch.
Oh, you talking about with the fucking truck and the people ragdolling in the sky and shit?
Well, the truck ain't the problem. It's all the other shit.
Oh. I was thinking about giving. I saw this cool ass. I'm not gonna front. I saw this cool ass mod. Here, let me show it to you, Cold Blood. I'm gonna put it in the link. I saw this cool ass mod for Starfield, and I was like, oh shit, this makes it look more like an Ubisoft game, right? Let me do this. Let me put it up here. I was like, oh shit. This looks like a cool ass some mods have been added to increase player movement and make it more cool. Like, oh, hold on. Let me do this, y'all. Y'all can see it. I was like, oh shit, if the game actually moved and played like this, I'd play the shit. But let's
just no, wait. Just look at this shit, bro.
Hold on, where you at?
Can you see it?
Accept Wes. What the fuck? No, that wasn't from you. That was, hold on. No, I can't.
On Discord.
It might slow me down, but go ahead.
Look what they did to every single planet.
Oh my god. What is that?
Look at this shit, bro. Every single one of them.
What? Default
Even the sun, bro.
You shouldn't be seeing.
You should be seeing this. They completely ruined the fucking game, bro.
Oh my god. Wow.
And
wow.
Look, I go somewhere else, it's gonna be the same. Look.
Oh.
It's the same shit everywhere. Yeah.
That is nuts. I wish I could show this to y'all, but that is nuts. You gotta record that.
This is the state of this dog shit game, bro.
Bro, you gotta record that. You gotta record that and put some audio or something behind that. That is fucking nuts.
Remember we've been talking about that one fucking paid DLC that was disguised as a free update?
Yeah.
You could get a weapon there. That was a sniper rifle. If you shoot the whole magazine, that's it. You cannot reload this gun, and they did not fix it yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That looks I need that video, bro.
And also look the weapon name. Look up failed. Yeah. See this shit?
This is what?
Yeah, a lot of these weapon names are just fucking gone.
Oh my!
And just look up fail. Bro, this game is so fucking dead, bro. Holy shit. Okay, I think that's enough, bro.
I'm gonna try this game with the Ascension mode. But you can't do mods.
I think I made my point.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's
fucking hell.
Oh, wow.
The only thing they did okay is this fucking buggy that you can drive around now.
And I would have to play this natively because GeForce Now doesn't allow for mods. One GeForce now. We gotta fix.
Oh, brother. How can Bethesda become so big on the Xbox, bro? Oh my god.
Because Xbox fucks everything up.
Come on, that $3 trillion company.
Yeah, bro. But you gotta remember. Tim Dog told us. Remember, Satya, when you have a CEO of your company that knows nothing about gaming, and he's leaning on now somebody else that doesn't know nothing about gaming, and Amy, but he's only leaning on her because she's the only one that's fiscally responsible. And then you have a head of gaming who doesn't know how he thinks that Crackdown was the game that the Xbox gamers deserve. You're just in the clusterfuck of horribleness. And look, I'm gonna put it to you like this: as great as Satya has been for investors in raising Microsoft's capital, he is horrible when it comes to quality. I'm not saying Windows was the most quality fucking application out there, but it's been far worse under his leadership, I think. Like, Windows is fucking horrible now. Everything is horrible. He is not a quality person. He's just let's put everything everywhere. He's a quantity person. And I think he's, as much as he's done great for their bottom line, he's done horrible for quality. So now you got a CEO that don't know nothing about gaming, and quality measures are not part of his pedigree. And then you got another head of gaming that don't know, that couldn't tell you about what separate a good game from a bad game to save his life. Like, that's Phil Spencer's problem in a nutshell. He doesn't know what a bad game is. He clearly doesn't know what a bad game is. He does not know what a bad game is. And Xbox gamers have suffered because of that. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We will wrap to everybody later. Again, 5 p.m. Be ready for our new minicast stream where I go into why exclusives matter. All right. So until next time, you guys have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.